Yi Mo lacked a defensive magic artifact, and this octagonal cauldron was too perfect for him. The only pity was that it was lacking a lid, but then again, if it was complete, it wouldn't be this price. Yi Mo lacked a defensive magic artifact, and this octagonal cauldron was too perfect for him. The only pity was that it was lacking a lid, but then again, if it was complete, it wouldn't be this price. Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense out. It was exactly the same as his damaged one. The reason this octagonal cauldron dropped to an extreme grade immortal artifact was not because its quality wasn't high enough, but it was lacking a lid, and the cauldron itself was damaged. Even so, the price soon rose to 160 million. Many people could see its flaws, just like Yi Mo. When the price rose to 180 million, the people bidding became less. This price was not cheap for this broken extreme grade immortal artifact. 200 million. Yi Mo bidded. The octagonal cauldron was very good in defense. He liked it. Yi Mo would rather have octagonal cauldron than a pristine extreme grade defensive immortal artifact. Yi Mo's price was far beyond the value of the cauldron, so no one bid it again in the palace. Yi Mo breathed easy. 205 million. Just when Yi Mo thought the octagonal cauldron was his, another bid sounded. 210 million. Yi Mo sighed. If the person was going to keep bidding, he wouldn't have it anymore. If he kept competing with him, it would be offending that person. Now, wasn't a wise time to do so. However, what confused Yi Mo was that no one bidded after he made that bid. It was as tough the person just wanted him to pay an extra 10 million. As the hammer fell, Yi Mo bought this octagonal cauldron with 210 million immortal crystals. Moments later, a female immortal carrying the octagonal cauldron came to Yi Mo's room. Yi Mo paid them and checked the octagonal cauldron before putting it back into the storage ring. At the same time, he felt a few spirit sense come on him. Yi Mo didn't seem to notice this. He just kept watching the next item. There were so many loopholes in the spirit sense barrier formation of this room. Some stronger people could easily scan in. Later on, even a half-god artifact appeared and a few top materials, but Yi Mo resisted his urge to buy. He also began to worry. If the truth abyssal mud came too late, he wouldn't have time to do what he needed to. Yi Mo really wanted the truth abyssal mud to come first before the 5-element stool. However, after half a day, the great eternity immortal female immortal carried a stone stool and put it on the table. Yi Mo almost couldn't control himself seeing, but luckily he was prepared. The instant he saw it, he knew it was real, not fake. Yi Mo knew this moment he was in extreme danger. His glance turned into one that of confusion, bewilderment. His spirit sense scanned around on this stone stool. Yi Mo knew if he took back his eyes immediately or had the slightest emotions, he would be a target of heavy investigation. Indeed, when Yi Mo was looking at the stone stool, a subtle spirit sense scanned past him and even stopped for a while. If he deigned cultivate the 3-birth chant, he would never feel it. This definitely wasn't a mortal monarch power. Yi Mo knew immediately, but he didn't care about it. He kept studying the stool with interest. Caring too much or too little about the stool would both be targets of investigation. How could Yi Mo not know this? Unlike before, the great eternity immortal said nothing after taking the stool out. If he didn't cultivate the 3-birth chant, he would have been exposed. Even the slightest emotional waves wouldn't go undetected by that spirit sense. If someone else had the stools, he would have been exposed. No matter if people had the stools or not, they would seem more or less excited. The person behind all this would determine the degree of excitement and compare it to their attitude towards the stool. After a while, the great eternity immortal smiled. Many people don't know what this stone stool is. Let me introduce now. It has another name called Chaos 5 Elements. It's a water element stone stool. Whether you have small world or truth spirit world with the Chaos 5 Elements, Your world would improve a level or even grade. Hearing this, the place went into rupture. Who didn't want this? With this, Yemo also showed excitement. At this moment, that subtle spirit sense scanned him again. Moments later, the spirit sense disappeared. Yemo knew he was out of danger for now. That spirit sense wanted to find who really had the stone stool. He definitely wouldn't stop there. I believe many people know more about the Chaos 5 elements than me. I can only say this much, however, this 5-element stool is incomplete. There is only a water element. Although this would greatly depreciate its value, but if you have the power to store it, then perhaps one day you might find a second one. The great eternity immortal then smiled. Because the 5 elements are incomplete, this stone stool isn't very priced. The bottom price is 5 billion and a middle grade immortal range. Each increment must be no lower than 100 million immortal crystals. Not everyone like Yemo knew this was a bait. Although no one could afford this price, on the immortal ship, people here immediately bidded 16 immortal crystals plus a middle grade immortal range. Yemo calmed his face. He knew he didn't need to keep acting. If he was still excited at such a high price, it meant he was interested in this. As soon as Yemo calmed his face, that subtle spirit sense scanned him again. Yemo breathed easy. This guy was definitely a psychologist. He was lucky to have guessed the mentality of this person and had the 3-birth chant to protect him. Thus he wouldn't be suspected. There was too many wealthy people in Qingwei heaven. The price was soon raised to 2 billion and 2 middle grade immortal range. These people weren't dumb. They just didn't know the stone stool had been to many auctions. When the price of 2 billion and 1 extreme grade immortal range, Yemo knew the owner of the stone stool intervened. The auction was still going on. A handsome great eternity immortal in a 71 room suddenly got up. Marshal uncle, should I send someone to wait outside in case that person suddenly leaves? The auction was still going on. A handsome great eternity immortal in a 71 room suddenly got up. Marshal uncle, should I send someone to wait outside in case that person suddenly leaves? The square-faced man sneered. Want to leave for my spirit sense? Humph. But you're right, I can't watch him constantly send. Suddenly, the square-faced man's face changed. He got up and cursed, such a cunning bastard. What happened? The handsome great eternity immortal suddenly had a bad feeling. This person just left. Send people after him immediately. The marshal uncle's face looked very bad. He just slapped himself in the face. The handsome great eternity immortal immediately got up and said to 2 middle-aged men, come out with me now. I'm going to catch that guy even if he runs to the ends of the heavens. When Yemo was teleported to the square, he left immediately. Just instantly, he changed his face and all his clothes. A few seconds later, he had disappeared amidst the crowd and left the city. 5 minutes later, Yemo released space-time boat. 4 hours later, Yemo stopped in a dense forest. This was very far from Hongyu Immortal City. Yemo believed that even a mortal emperor wouldn't be able to find him if he didn't know when he left. His time was limited. He didn't need to keep flying. Just in case, Yemo used his location as the center and released the space-time boat to fly in 4 directions each for 5 minutes and left extremely subtle stealth surveillance formations there. These formations were marked on ordinary stones by him or on some leaves. Yemo believed that even if a mortal emperor scanned with spirit sense, he wouldn't notice the formations unless he specifically looked for them. If he saw that he was being followed on the formation discs, he would rather not come out of the Golden Page world. Even if Mi Yun thought he stole the Jade card, he wouldn't care. Compared to his life, everything else didn't matter. After he had done these, Yemo went back to where he was before. He found a big tree and went into the bottom of the tree. Then he set up an extremely stealth formation and went inside the Golden Page world. Yemo set up the time formation disk and then took out that truth abyssal mud. He didn't even need this much, but he couldn't go negotiate with people saying he only needed a little. This mud was indeed top grade, very good top grade. It was so many times better than the big piece he got before. He then took out the jade card Mian gave him. He studied the teleportation formation inside the card. Yi Mo believed that if he had half a year to study this jade card, he would be able to become level 6 immortal formation great master and forge one exactly like this. He had half a year's time, as he had the time formation disc. To him, there was still 2 or 3 years before he went into the small heaven domain. Even if he could forge the exact same jade card, Yi Mo wouldn't be really dumb enough to do that. He was going to use this sliver of mud to mark some runes on the teleportation formation. Yi Mo believed that if he fused the formation chi into it, one could have to take a good look at the jade card to be able to see it. He didn't believe the immortal emperors would check carefully the jade card they gave out. Inside the time formation disc, half a year passed quickly. Yi Mo had been studying the teleportation formation in the jade card. He rarely used so much time to study an ordinary teleportation formation disc, but this involved the small heaven domain, so he had to be careful. Half a year later, Yi Mo not only derived every step of drawing the formation, but also found a spirit sense mark inside the teleportation formation disc. He was very sensitive to these spirit sense marks due to the middle-aged man hiding it in the star core flame. This meant that even if you could forge the exact same jade card, it wouldn't be real without the mark. Yi Mo didn't touch this mark. He started to repair the teleportation formation inside, and added a sliver of truth abyssal mud formation rune into it. This was very simple to Yi Mo. He could be done within half a month, but the hardest part was cleansing the chi of the truth abyssal mud and fusing it into the jade card completely. Even though Yi Mo was an immortal forgery grand master and near immortal formation grand master, he needed to use 3 birth chant to derive this and slowly make it. This would at least take a year or so to not touch the mark. The auction at Hongyu Immortal City was very exciting. There was not only low-grade god artifact in these 5 days, but also all sorts of top-grade things. The 5-element stool was sold for 1 extreme great immortal range and billions of immortal crystals. Seeing that the auction was about to end, in a subtle room, a purple-robed man frowned. Those who scanned with spirit sense would know this person was the final buyer of the stone stool. He carefully thought about the specifies of before. Quite a lot of people came to this auction, and he investigated every one of them. According to his experience, these people probably didn't have stone stool. Their reactions were what he expected. Some people were watching him with spirit sense, but he didn't care. He was even waiting to see who would hunt him after he left the city. By his side was a man who stood like a servant to him. The purple-robed man thought for a long while before asking, "Ji Liang, do you have anything to add?" The man bowed, "Master. The great eternity immortal tertiary stage in D453 is slightly suspicious." "Oh, how so?" the purple-robed man asked. He checked that coarse-looking man in D453 room. He seemed very normal. But he knew his servant was also very meticulous. He had been with him for a few 100,000 years, and would sometimes notice things he didn't notice. Ji Liang answered. He bought a broken extreme grade immortal artifact octagonal cauldron. A 71 room competed with him, but it wasn't intense. Later on, the truth abyssal mud appeared, and the two fought over it heavily. Eventually, D453 bought it with many times the value of the mud. The purple-robed man nodded. He knew this and said, "Continue." "Yes." Ji Liang continued. The great eternity immortal in D453 suddenly added 300 million to buy the truth abyssal mud. It seems he's acting in arrogance and competition. But just then I felt things didn't seem to be so. "Oh," the purple-robed man showed a serious attitude. Ji Liang continued. His seemingly actions of impulse made a 71 room give up the fight. But the master of a 71 is the young master of sword abstruse emperor sect. Someone stole what he wanted twice, making him very annoyed. This young master has an immortal monarch with him. I know that immortal monarch. He has a good spirit sense cultivation method and could watch people without people noticing. so that Immortal Monarch was constantly watching the Great Eternity Immortal in D453. The purple-robed man seemed to understand, and his breathing went heavy. Continue, but D453 had no intention to leave and seemed very interested in the things later on. But as soon as the Immortal Monarch's spirit sense moved away, the Great Eternity Immortal left immediately. The purple-robed man calmed down and said coldly, "You're saying this person knows about us checking him with spirit sense?" The purple-robed man didn't need Ji Liang to answer anymore. Now, he felt that Great Eternity Immortal was a little strange. The time frame of him being excited and calm seemed a little too accurate. Investigate where this person is. Immediately, the purple-robed man got up and said, he no longer had the mood to stay here. Investigate where this person is. Immediately, the purple-robed man got up and said, he no longer had the mood to stay here. He didn't expect he used all that effort and let the real suspect escape under his eyes. Yi Mo didn't know the owner of the stone stool was also looking for him. But even if he did, he wouldn't care. Seeing the jade card in his hands, Yi Mo was very satisfied. He used less than 2 years and finished this intricate task. There was still 3 days before the small heaven domain opened up after putting away the time formation disk. Yi Mo had decided to leave the golden page world, but then he noticed that there was a slight shaking from one of the surveillance formations he set up before. Yi Mo immediately resisted his urge to go out and check and instantly focused on watching. Terrifying, earth-shattering scenes were shown in the surveillance formation. As earth and rubbles were flipped over, a purple-robed man appeared in the surveillance formation. There was also a middle-aged man in front of him. Yi Mo couldn't tell the power of the man, but he was certain it wasn't below Immortal Monarch. Yi Mo couldn't hear the sound, as the surveillance formation was too far away. Yi Mo didn't understand lip reading either. But he could guess the middle-aged man fought with the purple-robed man, but the middle-aged man was no match for the purple-robed man. Thinking about this, Yi Mo was very shocked. An Immortal Monarch couldn't even beat that purple-robed man, and he didn't even seem to break a sweat. Was this guy an immortal emperor? Why was an immortal emperor and Immortal Monarch fighting here? Such intense battle would definitely catch the attention of other immortal emperors. Why is there still no immortal emperors coming? Yi Mo didn't dare to watch anymore, not even through the formation disk. The immortal emperor's spirit sense was too powerful. One slight mistake and he might be caught. Taking back his spirit sense, Yi Mo hid in the golden page world and dined dare to expand his spirit sense. He just concocted a few cauldrons of flying snow pill. 2 days later, Yi Mo carefully checked his surveillance formation disk and found that the purple-robed man had left and the Immortal Monarch was gone. Only then did Yi Mo carefully leave his golden page world and put away his stealth formation. At the same time, he let out space-time boat and quickly flew towards Hongyu Immortal City. When he was near the city, Yi Mo put away the space-time boat and sent Mi Yun a message. 2 hours later, Mi Yun came to where Yi Mo was in a hurry. Yi Mo checked and made sure there was no one following her. Seeing Mi Yun so desperate, it was obvious she was scared Yi Mo tricked her. "I was so worried. You disappeared for so many days. Luckily, I trusted you and didn't go ask," Mi Yun said. Yi Mo knew this wasn't the place to stay. He didn't notice anyone here. So then he took out the jade card to her. "Don't say anything now. I offended someone. I have to leave immediately. I won't go to the small heaven domain. If I get caught, it would be very bad for me. I'll return the jade card to you. If you get more Pengyu immortal fruits, just give me on. I'll be going first." Then there was a space ripple, and Yi Mo disappeared. Instant transmission. Mi Yun repeated in a daze. Before she could react, Yi Mo stuffed a jade card back in her hands and disappeared. Mi Yun was too shocked. She didn't expect a mere Great Eternity Immortal Primary Stage could instant transmission. Instant transmission was high-level god art. How could a great eternity immortal know this? The only pity was that the space ripple Yi Mo created was too big. It wasn't hard to find him with it. If one day Yi Mo could minimize it, it would be a very powerful god arts. How does he have so many powerful god arts? Just when she was still in her shock, there was another space ripple. Yi Mo appeared before her. And as he landed, there was even more space ripple. Yi Mo said apologetically, "I'll give you my stealth cultivation method first. When you come out, I'll send a message to you." Then Yi Mo threw Mi Yin a jade slip and disappeared. Mi Yin shook her head. With such space ripples, she would rather not instant transmission. Yi Mo breathed easy. He finally used the space ripples of a few instant transmission to slip into the teleportation rune inside the truth abyssal mud. Because very little truth abyssal mud was used, there was barely enough space for a person to sleep, but this was enough for Yi Mo. As soon as he came in, he used the three-birth chant to stealth all his chi. He was originally planning to tell her. He was going in the jade card, but he was afraid she would expose him. In front of an immortal emperor, a great eternity immortal didn't have much privacy at all. Seeing the jade slip Yi Mo gave her, it was indeed much better than what she had before. She joyful took the jade card and slipped before rushing back to Hongyu Immortal City. On the biggest square in Hongyu Immortal City, the place was filled. Today was the day to enter the small heaven domain. Although there was only 1,100 people who didn't want to see what the small heaven domain looked like, who didn't want to know what treasures laid inside. As though knowing there would be a lot of people today, Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, appeared on the stage very early. There was a teleportation formation on the stage and a huge surveillance formation screen. As Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, came out, the other Immortal Emperors all came. This time, 12 Immortal Emperors came. Wei Feng stood high on the stage and saluted with his fists. "Thank you, friends from the Heaven Domains, for coming to Qing Wei Heaven's event. Once the small heaven domain opens, there will be large amounts of top-grade materials that haven't been seen for thousands of years. Because the spot to enter is limited, we have decided to have an auction here at this square 3 days later, when the prodigies come out. The auction items will be what they got in the small heaven domain." Immediately, the square's excitement soared. Immortals with large sums of immortal crystals were very excited. Some even decided to join up to buy top-grade materials. Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, nodded happily to their reaction and continued, "Now, may the 1,100 elites of the heaven domains please come up with this 1,100 great eternity immortals with jade cards entered the stage." Nonetheless, the huge square still seemed empty. Li Kun scanned with her spirit sense, but soon was disappointed. She didn't see her brother, Yi Mo. Her brother didn't get the jade card. He probably left the city. Now may Dragon River Grand Emperor explain the rules of the small heaven domain and inform us which people can't go in the small heaven domain. Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, said, and stood on the side. As one of the 4 Grand Emperors, Dragon River Grand Emperor seemed very ordinary looking. He walked up with a smile, seeming very amicable, but everyone knew he was one of the 4 Grand Emperors. He could easily pulverize tens of immortal city. Even a heaven domain couldn't stand his havoc. It's not easy to enter the small heaven domain. It requires 10 immortal emperors to open a portal to the void at the same time. Only then can people barely go in. So, spots are limited. For fairness, those with pocket dimensional worlds please stand out, or your jade card will be confiscated. Investigate where this person is. Immediately, the purple-robed man got up and said. He no longer had the mood to stay here. Investigate where this person is. Immediately, the purple-robed man got up and said. He no longer had the mood to stay here. He didn't expect he used all that effort and let the real suspect escape under his eyes. Yi Mo didn't know the owner of the stone stool was also looking for him. But even if he did, he wouldn't care. Seeing the jade card in his hands, Yemo was very satisfied. He used less than 2 years and finished this intricate task. There was still 3 days before the small heaven domain opened up. After putting away the time formation disk, Yemo had decided to leave the golden page world, but then he noticed that there was a slight shaking from one of the surveillance formations he set up before. Yemo immediately resisted his urge to go out and check, and instantly focused on watching. Terrifying, earth-shattering scenes were shown in the surveillance formation. As earth and rubbles were flipped over, a purple-robed man appeared in the surveillance formation. There was also a middle-aged man in front of him. Yemo couldn't tell the power of the man, but he was certain it wasn't below Immortal Monarch. Yemo couldn't hear the sound, as the surveillance formation was too far away. Yemo didn't understand lip reading either. But he could guess the middle-aged man fought with the purple-robed man, but the middle-aged man was no match for the purple-robed man. Thinking about this, Yemo was very shocked. An Immortal Monarch couldn't even beat that purple-robed man, and he didn't even seem to break a sweat. Was this guy an immortal emperor? Why was an immortal emperor and immortal monarch fighting here? Such intense battle would definitely catch the attention of other immortal emperors. Why is there still no immortal emperors coming? Yemo didn't dare to watch anymore, not even through the formation disk. The immortal emperor's spirit sense was too powerful. One slight mistake, and he might be caught. Taking back his spirit sense, Yemo hid in the golden page world and dined dare to expand his spirit sense. He just concocted a few cauldrons of flying snow pill. 2 days later, Yemo carefully checked his surveillance formation disk and found that the purple-robed man had left and the immortal monarch was gone. Only then did Yemo carefully leave his golden page world and put away his stealth formation. At the same time, he let out space-time boat and quickly flew towards Hongyu Immortal City. When he was near the city, Yemo put away the space-time boat and sent Mi-yun a message. 2 hours later, Mi-yun came to where Yemo was in a hurry. Yemo checked and made sure there was no one following her. Seeing Mi-yun so desperate, it was obvious she was scared Yemo tricked her. I was so worried you disappeared for so many days. Luckily, I trusted you and didn't go ask. Mi-yun said. Yemo knew this wasn't the place to stay. He didn't notice anyone here. So then he took out the jade card to her. Don't say anything now. I offended someone. I have to leave immediately. I won't go to the small heaven domain. If I get caught, it would be very bad for me. I'll return the jade card to you. If you get more Pengyu immortal fruits, just give me on. I'll be going first. Then there was a space ripple, and Yemo disappeared. Instant transmission. Mi-yun repeated in a daze. Before she could react, Yemo stuffed a jade card back in her hands and disappeared. Mi-yun was too shocked. She didn't expect a mere great eternity immortal primary stage could instant transmission. Instant transmission was high-level god art. How could a great eternity immortal know this? The only pity was that the space ripple Yemo created was too big. It wasn't hard to find him with it. If one day Yemo could minimize it, it would be a very powerful god arts. How does he have so many powerful god arts? Just when she was still in her shock, there was another space ripple. Yemo appeared before her. And as he landed, there was even more space ripple. Yemo said apologetically, I'll give you my stealth cultivation method first. When you come out, I'll send a message to you. Then Yemo threw Mi-yun a jade slip and disappeared. Mi-yun shook her head. With such space ripples, she would rather not instant transmission. Yemo breathed easy. He finally used the space ripples of a few instant transmission to slip into the teleportation rune inside the truth abyssal mud. Because very little truth abyssal mud was used, there was barely enough space for a person to sleep, but this was enough for Yemo. As soon as he came in, he used the 3-birth chant to stealth all his chi. He was originally planning to tell her. He was going in the jade card, but he was afraid she would expose him. In front of an immortal emperor, a great eternity immortal didn't have much privacy at all. Seeing the jade slip Yemo gave her, it was indeed much better than what she had before. She joyful took the jade card and slipped before rushing back to Hongyu Immortal City. On the biggest square in Hongyu Immortal City, the place was filled. Today was the day to enter the small heaven domain, although there was only 1,100 people who didn't want to see what the small heaven domain looked like, who didn't want to know what treasures laid inside. As though knowing there would be a lot of people today, Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, appeared on the stage very early. There was a teleportation formation on the stage and a huge surveillance formation screen. As Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, came out, the other Immortal Emperors all came. This time, 12 Immortal Emperors came. Wei Feng stood high on the stage and saluted with his fists. Thank you, friends from the Heaven Domains, for coming to Qing Wei Heaven's event. Once the small heaven domain opens, there will be large amounts of top-grade materials that haven't been seen for thousands of years. Because the spot to enter is limited, we have decided to have an auction here at this square 3 days later, when the prodigies come out. The auction items will be what they got in the small heaven domain. Immediately, the square's excitement soared. Immortals with large sums of immortal crystals were very excited. Some even decided to join up to buy top-grade materials. Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, nodded happily to their reaction and continued, Now, may the 1,100 elites of the heaven domains please come up with this 1,100 great eternity immortals with jade cards entered the stage. Nonetheless, the huge square still seemed empty. Li Kun scanned with her spirit sense, but soon was disappointed. She didn't see her brother, Yemo. Her brother didn't get the jade card. He probably left the city. Now may Dragon River Grand Emperor explain the rules of the small heaven domain and inform us which people can't go in the small heaven domain. Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, said, and stood on the side. As one of the 4 Grand Emperors, Dragon River Grand Emperor seemed very ordinary looking. He walked up with a smile, seeming very amicable, but everyone knew he was one of the 4 Grand Emperors. He could easily pulverize tens of immortal city. Even a heaven domain couldn't stand his havoc. It's not easy to enter the small heaven domain. It requires 10 immortal emperors to open a portal to the void at the same time. Only then can people barely go in. So, spots are limited. For fairness, those with pocket dimensional worlds please stand out, or your jade card will be confiscated. Dragon River Grand Emperor scanned the 1,100 great eternity immortals and said plainly, Please those who brought pocket dimension worlds, hand out your pocket dimension and walk under the god artifact heart door. Dragon River Grand Emperor scanned the 1,100 great eternity immortals and said plainly, Please those who brought pocket dimension worlds, hand out your pocket dimension and walk under the god artifact heart door. Before Dragon River Grand Emperor finished, 8 great eternity immortal went off the stage and gave their small world to people. No one didn't know about the heart door in the grand heaven domain. It was a low-grade god artifact. It was just a door, but anyone standing below it who lied would be detected. Perhaps only someone like Yemo, who cultivated the 3-birth chant, could go try. Because of this, those who tried to cheat handed out their pocket dimensions. Otherwise, they would be detected by the heart door. Dragon River Grand Emperor already gave you a way down. Only an idiot wouldn't take it. After the people lined up again, they all passed through the heart door. Everyone standing below it would be asked, Did you bring anyone else? Mi Yun felt lucky that Yemo didn't listen to her. Otherwise, things would be bad. Even with the heart door there, one great eternity immortal was still caught cheating. This great eternity immortal was very wronged. He didn't cheat himself. His sect forged a small world into a defensive bracelet telling him to wear it. They didn't tell him about him. He didn't even know, but the Immortal Emperor noticed it. It was instantly taken away, and more than 10 people were scanned out of it. Eventually, this sect was kicked out of the city. They not only lost the right to go in, but even lost the right to participate in the auction. Mi-yun carefully stood at the heart door, and when she was asked, she replied without hesitation, no. The heart door showed no signs of lie. Then she was scanned by a female immortal monarch. No problem was found, and she passed. Yi Mo didn't know he had passed. He was still stealthed in the truth abyssal mud. When everyone had passed the heart door, Wei Feng, immortal emperor, got up and said, the teleportation formation will open now. Everyone will be teleported to a set location. Then 10 of us immortal emperors will tear open the dimension to the small heaven domain and send everyone in. As for the guests at the square, you can watch the process with surveillance formation. The great eternity immortals got on the teleportation formation, and piles of immortal crystals were lit up. 5 minutes later, a white barrier surrounded them all. Most of the people in Hongyu, Immortal City, were at the square, watching the small heaven domain open, but there were exceptions. In a cultivation home with extremely dense immortal spirit chi, a purple-robed man had a sunken face as he sat next to a huge immortal spirit chi fountain. The fountain water splashed on the jade and on the nearby immortal spirit herb and was rapidly devoured. But the purple-robed man didn't feel it was a waste at all. He still frowned. After a long while, the purple-robed man raised his head and said, "Come in." A servant-dressed man came in. It was Ji Liang. "Are there any clues?" the purple-robed man asked. Ji Liang bowed, "Master. The great eternity immortal wasn't found. This person probably had a masquerade on. He might be out of the city." The purple-robed man nodded. "He spent many times the price of truth abyssal mud to buy it, meaning he has a big origin. Which ordinary person would have this many immortal crystals to buy truth abyssal mud?" Before Ji Liang finished, the purple-robed man's face suddenly changed. He palmed down, and the fake mountains and rocks were immediately pulverized. Even the water in the fountain splashed out. Ji Liang stood there calmly. I was wrong from the beginning." The purple-robed man frowned. "Master?" Ji Liang asked. The purple-robed man waved his hand. "We shouldn't even be investigating that great eternity immortal. We should be investigating the truth, abyssal mud." Ji Liang was extremely smart and dazed for a moment, and realized they were too smart and instead made such low-level mistake. Anyone who spent this much to buy the truth abyssal mud would have a major purpose. They wouldn't be spending immoral crystals for no reason. I know. This person must be thinking of using the truth abyssal mud to forge a small space, and let someone bring him into the small heaven domain, Ji Liang suddenly said. He felt his guess was very right. Only the enticement of the small heaven domain would make a great eternity immortal spend that much to buy truth abyssal mud. "Master, this person definitely appeared. Ji Liang is certain he isn't going to get in. There's the heart door this time. No one can evade it. If we go to Hongyu Square, now we can find this person." Ji Liang said with certainty. "Let's go." The purple-robed man said and swept up Ji Liang, disappearing. When the purple-robed man arrived, the teleportation formation already activated. 1,000 people disappeared in the white light. At this moment, the surveillance formation screen showed a huge asteroid platform. The asteroid platform was clearly stabilized there. Before the platform was a faint gray mist. Some people guessed already that what was surrounded by the mist was the small heaven domain. The purple-robed man wasn't worried. He just landed on the stage and asked where the people who cheated were. The immortal emperor, who stayed on the stage, clearly knew who this purple-robed man was and quickly gave him a list of those who cheated. At the asteroid platform, chaos space flow blew past. Even with formation protection, the great eternity immortals standing on the platform felt discomfort. But they had great hopes, as they knew this definitely wasn't void that was in between heaven domains. This was outside. Feng Kong, immortal emperor, suddenly got up and said, "We're about to open the entrance to the small heaven domain. What you get in there, you get to keep 10%. If you hand up Chaos item, you can keep extra 10% and receive other rewards from us. Suddenly, Foam Kong Grand Emperor's voice went cold. You only have 3 days to stay in there. If anyone dares to use and spirit fruit or herbs inside, he will die. The last words made everyone shiver here. No one would be able to use the spirit herb within 3 days and not be caught. Now, I will be handing out Flying Snow Pill. Wei Feng, Grand Emperor, took out jade bottles and gave everyone a bottle. Then Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, continued, each Flying Snow Pill will protect your spirit root for 24 hours. 3 pills will last 3 days. Crush the jade card and come out in 3 days or pay the consequences yourself. Then the 10 Immortal Emperors flew into the void together and held their own formation flags. When the formations formed, 10 Immortal Emperor rushed their immortal essence and waves of terrifying chi came. It split the mist apart, and an obscure space appeared before them. As the Immortal Emperors released more and more terrifying power, the void finally opened up until it was 10 meters wide. Everyone go, and immediately we can't last very long. 3 days later crush the jade card to come back. Dragon River Grand Emperor roared, and the 1,000 or so great eternity immortals flew into the void fissure. Everyone flew in as fast as possible. The first person in would get the most things. Rumble. Before those great eternity immortal have completely gone into the small heaven domain, the tear rapidly decreased, as though about to close at any time. Rumble. Before those great eternity immortal have completely gone into the small heaven domain, the tear rapidly decreased, as though about to close at any time. Flashes of lightning fell from the void. A few great eternity immortal who fell behind were blasted to dust without any resistance. Abandon the formation. This is heaven restriction lightning. We forcefully open the stealth heaven domain of another realm, causing top-grade resources to be revealed. This start heaven restriction lightning. If we continue, there will be more people killed by lightning. One immortal emperor yelled. The other immortal emperors knew this too. They took back their immortal essence, and the tear closed up. With this, Heaven Path couldn't sense the resources again, and the lightning disappeared. The 1,000 great eternity immortals sunk into the endless mist. Their spirit sense couldn't spread out, nor did they have any sense of direction. This was far from their expectation. They should be landing on a new continent filled with immortal wells and immortal spirit herbs. But they've been in the mist for 15 minutes, and we're still rolling inside. There was also frequent void chaos flow, some of which were very powerful, and one could be swept away. When they sensed the decline in their spirit root, these great eternity immortals immediately ate a flying snow pill. Even so, no one was willing to crush the jade slip to go out. Yi Mo didn't know if he was in the small heaven domain, so he still didn't dare to let his spirit sense out. Mi Yin didn't know Yi Mo was in her card and just rolled around in the mist like everyone else. The void seemed endless. After 4 hours, she couldn't see anyone around her, but she was still rolling. Yi Mo felt it was about time. They were in the void. So he sent his spirit sense out carefully. Rolling, mist appeared in his spirit sense. Even with spirit sense blades, he couldn't send his spirit sense further. Yi Mo knew he wasn't in the watch of a mortal emperor and used instant transmission immediately. Mi Yun frowned. She felt there was some space ripples around her, but when she checked with her spirit sense, there was nothing. Yi Mo breathed easy. He finally went in the small heaven domain. He changed his look and became a beardless, middle-aged man. In this mist, Yi Mo felt his immortal essence slow. He knew this was spirit root dissipating, so he immediately ate a flying snow pill. Void chaos flow struck him, but Yi Mo didn't seem to feel it at all. These chaos flows might be able to sweep away ordinary great eternity immortal, but it would at most leave a few red marks on his body. When he stopped, he released spirit sense blades. Other people wouldn't be able to extend their spirit sense for more than 100 meters, but his spirit sense broke out to more than 1 kilometer. Soon, Yi Mo decided the direction he was going in and sped up. In just 2 hours, Yi Mo was completely free from the mist void and saw the atmosphere. At the same time, he saw a few other great eternity immortal also appeared in the atmosphere. He wanted to cross the atmosphere and land on the ground as quickly as possible, just like the rest of them. At the same time, Yi Mo felt slivers of invisible qi invade his body that had the effect of corroding spirit root and immortal essence, but that qi was immediately melted by the effect of the flying snow pill. They were probably the spirit-corroding demonic qi. Yi Mo saw that he was the first to be here, but suddenly a figure appeared, not far ahead. Yi Mo recognized this guy immediately. It was Yan Zhouqian. Yan Zhouqian looked at Yi Mo in surprise. It was unknown if he recognized Yi Mo, but he didn't look for trouble and just disappeared. There were too many good things here. No one would waste time here. Yi Mo chose an opposite direction to Yan Zhouqian and left. He wasn't afraid of Yan Zhouqian, but it was smarter to use the time here to find cultivation resource. In just 5 minutes, Yi Mo found a patch for level 7 immortal spirit herb. They were very high quality and aged. Yi Mo just took the entire place and threw it into the golden page world. The deeper Yi Mo went, the more he was amazed. This trip was too worth. This was just as he imagined. Level 5 to level 7 immortal spirit herb in piles, and even level 8 immortal spirit herb. However, Yi Mo hadn't seen any level 9 immortal spirit herb, nor any chaos spirit item yet. Half a day later, the immortal spirit herb garden in the golden page world was a few km radius. There weren't a lot of top-grade immortal spirit herb, but there were plenty of ordinary immortal spirit herbs. What shocked Yi Mo was that there was no dangers here other than the demonic qi. There weren't immortal spirit beasts. There were waves of space ripples from the distance. Yi Mo knew this was the other great eternity immortals crossing past the atmosphere. This small heaven domain was vast, and there weren't many people here, so no one fought over cultivation resources. Just when Yi Mo wanted to go deeper and find more things, he felt there was changes in his golden page world. Yi Mo looked in and found that a little less than half of what he threw in just then was ruined. A huge horse-like beast was ravaging the immortal spirit herb garden. Yi Mo was shocked. This horse was completely black, but had a pair of golden wings. However, its head looked more that of a dragon. It was happily devouring and expanding his wings. Yi Mo was furious. He didn't know when such strange immortal spirit beast appeared in his golden page world. Luckily, he noticed this early. If it was later, his bitter bamboo chaos tree would all be eaten by this bastard. Yi Mo went straight inside the golden page world and punched Rumble. In his own chaos world, this punch was more than 10 times stronger than outside. As soon as this punch came out, endless lethal force gathered and formed a lethal force whirlpool. Brother, you don't attack. I'm shadowless. What shocked Yi Mo more was that this horse actually spoke, but luckily Yi Mo heard it and stopped his attack. He looked below the bitter bamboo. The big ball, like shadowless, was gone. Yi Mo realized this shadowless went from a pea-sized thing to a huge mutated dragon horse with wings. What is this? Yi Mo looked at the ravaged immortal spirit herb garden and almost raised his fist. Brother Yi, stop. That sounds disgusting. Yi Mo reproached ruthlessly. However, he was very bewildered why shadowless changed into this state. Didn't those pretty martial sister call you Brother Yi? Shadowless's eyes were very innocent, but thought, why could pretty girls call him Brother Yi? But he couldn't. Boss, I mutated after devouring the Emperor Dao crystal. So I became like this. If I wasn't under the bitter bamboo, and this was the chaos world, I would have turned to dust. Shadowless said pitifully. Mutated? Yi-Mo frowned. He knew that the top god beasts would mutate. What level are you now? Yi-Mo asked. According to Zhen Bingyu, Shadowless's second state was called Heaven Tao. Shadowless said carefully, I'm Heaven Tao tertiary stage now. The Emperor Tao crystal is too powerful. I need immortal spirit herb to stabilize my power after the mutation. I didn't dare to touch other things, but I saw you bring in some immortal spirit herb, so I ate some non-important herbs. Seeing more than 70% of the level 7 immortal spirit herb being devoured by Shadowless and the level 4, and level 5 ones were left untouched, yet Shadowless said he ate non-important immortal spirit herbs. Yi-Mo was furious. He kicked Shadowless out of the immortal spirit herb without hesitation. Seeing more than 70% of the level 7 immortal spirit herb being devoured by Shadowless and the level 4, and level 5 ones were left untouched, yet Shadowless said he ate non-important immortal spirit herbs. Yi-Mo was furious. He kicked Shadowless out of the immortal spirit herb without hesitation. These are the very not important immortal spirit herb, you said. So this means those level 4 immortal spirit herb are very important to me? Hearing Yi-Mo's tone was wrong. Shadowless quickly ran up. Boss, I can help you find more immortal spirit herb. Isn't there a Chaos Star realm? If you take me there, I can definitely find more. Yi-Mo thought he was planning to throw Shadowless out to find spirit items, but his face was still stern. I have a few things you can't touch in here, you know that, right? Of course I know. That bamboo, where I sleep, that small sapling. There must be a reason why Boss protects it. I didn't even touch the yellow middle plum. How can I not know? Shadowless said sycophantically. Yi-Mo saw that was indeed the case and had less anger. He stared at Shadowless. You can touch it, but I'm going to tell you, if I see one missing leaf from bitter bamboo, or you go near 3 kilometers of that sapling, I will skin you and roast you. If a leaf falls of itself, you can't blame me, Shadowless said in a shiver. Yi-Mo's face went cold. No matter what reason, if the bitter bamboo or the sapling is damaged, it's your fault. Even if one leaf falls off itself, I will roast you. Shadowless's huge body shivered and subconsciously moved away from Yi-Mo. He suddenly felt this golden page world was dangerous. If he accidentally wandered near 3 kilometers of the sapling, he would be roasted and eaten. His boss seemed a bit unreasonable. Seeing Shadowless was scared, Yi-Mo didn't keep threatening him, and asked casually, You're from the dragon race, right? Yes, I'm originally from dragon race, but not really now. My bloodline mutated. I'm a mutated god beast. Shadowless said with pride. Mutated god beast should be quite strong, right? Yi-Mo asked plainly. Shadowless said with even more pride, not just strong, in the heavens and earth, the endless universe. Yi-Mo interrupted Shadowless's gloating and said coldly, You're this strong, but you only evolved one state after eating my Emperor Tao crystal. If it was some other god beast, he wouldn't just be evolving one state, right? Shadowless was lost for words and said after a while, Boss, I'm actually evolving pretty fast. It's just a mere Emperor Tao crystal. It's really nothing. If I get 10s more, I think it's not impossible for me to evolve one more state. Yi-Mo almost wanted to kick this bastard. Did he think Emperor Tao crystals were just laying around on the ground? How long would it take you to reach Immortal Tao? Yi-Mo was very disappointed that the Emperor Tao crystal only let Shadowless progress a small step. About 30, no, 10, or maybe 8 of those crystals. Shadowless quickly changed, seeing Yi-Mo's face getting bleak. Then you can stay at Heaven Tao your entire life. Yi-Mo waved his hand and threw Shadowless out of the Golden Page world, while coming out himself too. He got such a big immortal spirit herb garden. If he reached Immortal King, he would be good just concocting some pills, and he wouldn't need to go around looking for resources. But now, Shadowless took out more than 80% of the valuable things after coming out of the Golden Page world. Yemo saw that Shadowless was like a dumb bird gazing around. He said after a long while, "There's so much chaos demonic chi here. This is spirit-crippling demonic chi. See if it would cripple your spirit root. If it does, I'll give you a pill." Yemo said, "Cripple my spirit root? This is huge nutrition for me." Shadowless shook, and all the demonic chi nearby were devoured by him. He then opened his mouth, and demonic chi of a tens of km radius were sucked in. Yemo immediately felt the spirit-crippling chi weaken. He didn't even need the flying snow pill now. The use of the three-birth chant turned them into immortal essence. "This is something good," Yemo murmured, and continued to refine these demonic chi half a day later. Yemo felt his power increase many times before remembering his main purpose here. He slapped Shadowless and said, "Hurry up and go find good things. We can devour these demonic chi later." "Yes, yes." Shadowless woke up and disappeared from Yemo's sight in a golden ray. This fast? Yemo was shocked at Shadowless's speed and quickly chased over. Shadowless was no spirit-seeking beast, but this guy had a big appetite. He loved eating good immortal spirit herb and items. Another half a day later, Yemo felt a little embarrassed. Shadowless found him much more high-level immortal spirit herb. This included 100 or so level 8 frost wheat. Yemo knew other people could only stay here for 3 days, but he didn't. Even if they had more flying snow pill, they wouldn't dare to stay as their names were recorded. When the second day was about to end, Shadowless suddenly stopped at a damp mountain range. Yemo looked at this place in confusion. There was no immortal spirit herb, and the immortal spirit chi was rather little compared to other places. Just when he wanted to ask Shadowless, Shadowless opened its mouth, spewing out tens of sword chi. The nearby space made a cracking sound. In just 10 seconds, this damp mountain range was filled with dense, immortal spirit chi, natural spirit hiding formation. Yemo called out in joy. Soon, he realized there was a top-grade immortal range below, but was hidden by the formation. He didn't check it carefully, so he couldn't tell, but Shadowless had the natural instinct to sense it here. "It seems you have some use." Yemo nodded and applauded Shadowless. Hearing this, Shadowless was very satisfied and clawed the earth a few times. Earth of 1 km blocks were rolled up, and moments later, a white top-grade immortal range appeared before Yemo. If Yemo was to take it, he would have to go underground and then set up formation to take it. But Shadowless was more powerful. He just flipped it out. Immortal range, a voice said in shock, and a figure landed before Yemo. Yemo had seen this person. He was a great eternity immortal peak stage. Yemo hid his power to great eternity immortal tertiary stage. "The witness has a share. We can split this immortal range in half." The great eternity immortal saluted with his fists. There were lots of immortal spirit herb, but compared to immortal range, those immortal spirit herb were nothing. Before Yemo spoke, Shadowless said, "Boss, should I eat him?" "You can eat hims?" Yemo's knowledge of Shadowless stayed at what he was before. Look, Shadowless opened its mouth. The great eternity immortal dazed hearing what Shadowless said. He had seen immortal spirit beasts, but they were all sect guarding immortal spirit beast. Everything around here was controlled by Shadowless's mouth and swooped in. The Git felt a powerful suction force and quickly released a blue light. Rumble. The blue light smashed with Shadowless's huge head, shaking the nearby space. The great eternity immortal's face changed immediately. He blocked the attack, but he felt Shadowless was stronger than him. He didn't dare to ask for the immortal range and turned to run. Shadowless felt he lost his face. He just said to Yemo he could eat this person, but now his opponent got away. He chased over in a blur. Immediately, Yemo forgot to take the immortal range. He really didn't expect Shadowless was this ferocious after evolving. Even a great eternity immortal peak stage was no match for him. Wouldn't that mean he would have an equally powerful assistant? Thinking about this, Yi Mo rejoiced and threw out formation flags, moving the immortal range. This immortal range wasn't small, but it wasn't a very big one either. Yi Mo easily pulled it into the golden page world. This immortal range wasn't small, but it wasn't a very big one either. Yi Mo easily pulled it into the golden page world. This was his first top-grade immortal range. It was much better to cultivate on the immortal range than using immortal crystals. Just when he put the immortal range away, he heard Shadowless's roaring. Yi Mo's spirit sense scanned over and saw Shadowless was surrounded by 6 great eternity immortals. Seeing this, Yi Mo was furious and instantly landed before them. What confused Yi Mo was that the great eternity immortal from before wasn't dead. He looked a little shabby. Seeing Yi Mo come over, those great eternity immortals stopped attacking. Shadowless came back to Yi Mo with a disappointed face. This immortal friend, this immortal spirit beast, is your immortal pet, right? He chased my friend, so we stopped him. Now that everyone is fine, I suggest to leave things at this. One halfway, Immortal King saluted with his fists. Seeing this person being polite, Yi Mo nodded. He didn't care. They only said this because they saw Shadowless's power. He didn't need to fight with other people, since there were treasures everywhere here. You dare to rob my boss's immortal range. Next time I see you, I will eat you. Shadowless threatened with annoyance. These few people dazed, their friend grieved over someone else's immortal range. No wonder they chased up. Immortal range was precious, but compared to this small heaven domain, it was nothing. After all, there were too many good things here. Instead of fighting over it, they might as well get something else. Their time was limited. At this moment, a flare shot into the sky. These few great eternity immortals saw it and left without hesitation. Yi Mo could tell that this flare wasn't ordinary. It was like a one-time use middle-grade immortal artifact. Let's go over and see, Yi Mo said immediately and sat on Shadowless. Shadowless moved and instantly shaked away those great eternity immortals. Those few great eternity immortals saw Shadowless's speed and were shocked. This beast was not only strong but also very fast. 5 minutes later, Yi Mo arrived at the flare. There were nearly 100 people gathered here. Li Kun and Mi Yun were amongst them. There was a huge mountain ahead surrounded with mist. Boss, this is a natural formation, Shadowless said immediately. Yi Mo could tell this mist was a huge top-level natural defense formation. At least, Yi Mo couldn't break it. Seeing Yi Mo riding a strange black horse with wings over, people already gave him strange looks. Now that this horse spoke, they felt even more bewildered. Usually only big sects or powerful Banes could own immortal spirit beasts that could speak. Some people's eyes showed greed. Many people saw Shadowless speed. Immortal friend, do you sell this pet? I can pay any amount of immortal crystals. I'm from Dong Ming Emperor sect. You know, our Li Long immortal emperor master would be very interested in such pet. I suggest you sell it otherwise. The great eternity immortal tertiary stage walked up to Yi Mo and saluted with his fists. Dong Ming Emperor sect was very powerful. It had 3 immortal emperor. Piss off, say one more word, and I'll eat you alive. Yi Mo didn't even say anything, but Shadowless roared. How dare this guy seduce his boss to sell him? With how he didn't perform very well before, he was really scared Yi Mo would sell him. Unless he was dumb, why would he leave the chaos world and bitter bamboo? Plus, he already had a master. He couldn't leave. If he was sold, he might be roasted and eaten. An animal dares to insult me. The great eternity immortal's face sunk and grabbed at Shadowless. How could Shadowless tolerate this? He opened his mouth. This great eternity immortal was weaker than the one who fought him before. When the great eternity immortal felt the powerful suction force and how he couldn't control the nearby space anymore, he was very shocked. He knew he underestimated this animal. Shadowless was desperate to show himself in front of Yi Mo, so he tried his best. Seeing that this great eternity immortal was about to be devoured, two other people on the side charged up wanting to save him. Yi Mo sneered and palmed out. If one person fought Shadowless and Shadowless lost, then Shadowless was useless. But if they gained up on Shadowless, they were acting as though he didn't exist. Yi Mo's spirit sense and immortal essence was far beyond ordinary great eternity immortal peak stage. If he could control domain, he would be on par with ordinary immortal king. The space in the small heaven domain wasn't as stable. As Yi Mo struck out with his palm, nearby space rattled and shook. The two great eternity immortals quickly released their magic artifact to stop the two palms from Yi Mo. Thud, thud. The two great eternity immortal were smashed away a few km before falling down. Crack. The great eternity immortal who asked to buy Shadowless was gone. One could still hear the crushing sounds in Shadowless's mouth. The great eternity immortal who wanted to rob Yi Mo's immortal range saw this and was very scared. He subconsciously walked around Yi Mo and Shadowless to the other side. Those few great eternity immortals who were with him rejoiced that they didn't fight Yi Mo. This white-faced, young, great eternity immortal was too terrifying. The near 100 people here took in a cold breath. In less than a few seconds, this great eternity immortal and the beast ate a great eternity immortal and struck two great eternity immortal tertiary stages flying away. Some people have recognized that Yi Mo didn't come in with them. But no one suspected a thing. After all, some people used masks here too. Li Kun stared at Yi Mo in shock. She felt that Yi Mo's means of attack was familiar, but she didn't dare to go up and ask. A halfway immortal king walked out and smiled. I'm Great Red Heaven Yuan Sha. What's your name, immortal friend? I'm Ning Xiaoma. Yi Mo saluted with his fists. Hello, Brother Ning. This mist mountain is a natural formation I believe Brother Ning knows. We such a spirit item with intelligence run inside, so we trap this mountain. I want to invite Brother Ning to break it together. There might be ample top-grade spirit items inside. We can split things. Yuan Sha smiled and waited for Yi Mo to reply. Yi Mo and his immortal pet's power was too strong. He sent out the flare to ask for some help, but instead a master like Yi Mo came. Even he was probably no match for Yi Mo. Yi Mo knew what Yuan Sha meant. It was to tell him that they found this mountain, and if they break in, the things should be shared around. Of course, but since we're all working together, there would be people who contribute more and less. I believe sharing equally wouldn't be too appropriate, right? Yi Mo asked. Of course, I think so too. This natural formation is very sturdy. We need to attack together. Brother Han, come tell us. Yuan Sha turned around and said to a young great eternity immortal tertiary stage. The young great eternity immortal tertiary stage saluted with his fists in front of Yi Mo. Hello, immortal friend Ning. I'm Han Xiaofu. I come from Qing Wei Heaven Lord Estate. Your Wei Feng immortal emperor's disciple? Yi Mo asked. No, my master is just great friends with the Grand Emperor. So I get to stay in Heaven Lord Estate, Han Xiaofu said with a genuine tone. I'm a level 5 immortal formation great master. I can't break this natural formation, but I know how to attack it. If immortal friend Ning is willing, I can command the breaking of the formation. Han Xiaofu said. Just when Yi Mo wanted to agree, Shadowless Sound Transmission Boss, there's too many things inside. We must not split with them. Let's do it ourselves. Yi Mo looked back at Shadowless. This guy was quite sly. Just when Yi Mo wanted to ask Yi Mo how he knew, he felt something was wrong. Yi Mo subconsciously looked around and saw most people were looking at him and Shadowless. Just when Yi Mo wanted to ask Yi Mo how he knew, he felt something was wrong. Yi Mo subconsciously looked around and saw most people were looking at him and Shadowless. Yi Mo instantly realized and slapped Shadowless's head. If you don't know how to sound transmission, then don't. Idiot. Now everyone knows what you said. Shadowless reached Heaven Tao, but his heritage wasn't perfected. He studied sound transmission himself, and thus was very coarse method. Most people heard what he said. This was like saying in front of everyone, I know there's lots of good things here, boss, and I won't take you guys. Shadowless didn't feel embarrassed at all, and said pitifully, Boss, I just figured it out myself. I wanted to test it. Li Kuan, Mi Yun, and a few female immortal couldn't hold it anymore, and laughed out. Yi Mo quickly taught Shadowless a few chants and told him to study it himself. Yuan Sha laughed and saluted with his fists. Everyone worked together, and Brother Han command us. What do you think, Brother Ning? He felt secured. Due to this beast's sound transmission, Yi Mo can't go find the treasure alone, or everyone will gang up on him. Yi Mo knew this power of this defense formation. Shadowless and him together wouldn't be able to break it for a few days, so they had to cooperate. Of course, my opinion is the same as immortal friend Yuan. Everyone worked together. Suddenly, Yi Mo got Shadowless's sound transmission again. Boss, I can break the mist outside. It's good nutrition. Yi Mo looked around and made sure Shadowless really learned sound transmission this time. He breathed easy a little. The mist around the mountain has dense spirit, crippling demonic chi, tens of times than when they first entered this place. If they attacked it, it would disperse everywhere. Now that Shadowless could devour it, it meant he had an extra trump card. Thinking about this, Yi Mo said, Immortal friend Yuan, there's large amounts of spirit, crippling demonic chi in the mist. If we attack it by force, it will disperse and exacerbate the spirit root crippling and lengthen the attack on the mountain. We only have 1 day later. 1 day later, we will be teleported out. I think reducing the time is very necessary. Yes, my suggestion to break the formation from a certain place is to prevent the demonic chi from spilling. Han Xiaofu quickly said, Brother Ning, do you have a good way then? Yuan Sha asked. Yi Mo gave a confident face. Indeed. Immortal friend Yuan, if I can break this mist in a short time and let everyone break the formation, how many shares would I get? Yuan Sha dazed and immediately asked in joy, Brother Ning, you can really break the mist? Yuan Sha immediately woke up and said, how many shares do you want, Brother Ning? Yi Mo knew there were a lot of people here, 87 in total. He couldn't take too much, but he must have the distribution right and get the spirit item that ran inside. Thinking about this, Yi Mo said, I don't want too much. I'll take 20% of the things here, but the condition is that I have the distribution rights. I agree. Yuan Sha said without hesitation. He then looked at everyone else. Immortal friends. Immortal friend Ning will break the demonic mist chi alone. He will have 20% of the things, and the distribution right I have agreed. What do you think? I agree too. Han Xiaofu said. Agree. The rest of the people all agreed. Even the two. Yi Mo slapped away. If it was some other place, they would be unhappy that Yi Mo took 20% when there was 87 people here, but their time here was limited. If they could open here quickly, they would have more time to search other places. Attack. Seeing everyone agreed, Yi Mo said to Shadowless. Shadowless was waiting to perform, and hearing this, he charged into the mist and sucked. The mist that tightly surrounded the mountain rolled around. Everyone saw clearly that the dragon horse devoured the mist into its mouth. Such terrifying spirit, crippling demonic chi was eaten by this immortal spirit beast. Everyone was shocked. Just what immortal spirit beast was this? This was too absurd. Some great eternity immortals were thinking. An immortal spirit beast that could ignore this demonic chi would be able to stay here however he wanted. Yuan Sha's face changed. He didn't expect Yi Mo's immortal spirit beast was this powerful. With this ability, this immortal spirit beast would be able to get everything when they were teleported out. In 5 months, the mist completely disappeared, revealing the formation behind it. A few great eternity immortals saw the mist was gone and wanted to charge up and attack, but Shadowless spewed a stream of mist like a smoke pipe. Those few great eternity immortal immediately retreated in terror. Shadowless pridefully sucked the smoke back as though warning people he could spew it at any time. Yi Mo was speechless. He knew that Shadowless could only spew the smoke he hadn't digested yet. A day or so later, it would be all gone. Yuan Sha said calmly to the shocked Han Xiaofu, "Brother Han, come over and arrange the attack." Yuan Sha calmed down, but in his heart he considered Yimo's Shadowless something he must have. This immortal spirit beast was not ordinary. It might even be God beast, but in here there was nothing he could do against Yi Mo. But he had made up his mind to report this immortal spirit beast to his sect. Han Xiaofu was also thinking about this immortal spirit beast and decided to report to his master no matter what. As for how to deal with Ning Xiaoma, it wasn't his problem. Seeing everyone's dodgy eyes, how could Yi Mo not know what they thought? The immortals didn't dare to get near Shadowless, seeing he could spew the smoke back out. Han Xiaofu was a level 5 immortal formation great master, and thus could still find a place to attack. It wasn't the weakest spot, but with 87 people attacking at the same time, even the most stable natural immortal formation would be grinded down. Half a day later, the immortal formation cracked, and everyone became excited. They knew the immortal formation was about to be broken. A dense immortal spirit chi came pouring into their face. 100-meter-tall ancient tree appeared before them. Hundreds of red fruit hung on the branches, seeming very beautiful. Pengyu immortal fruit, almost everyone called out in shock. Before they could rejoice, a black figure dashed into the formation and stood before the Pengyu immortal fruit and spewed out demonic chi. Then he said, "Boss, the formation is broken. Now you can distribute them. Those little guys near the formation move aside. The further away you are, the more priority boss will give you." There's some rotten fruits on the ground. It's a waste to abandon them. I'm an animal anyways, so I don't mind, Shadowless said, and swept up more than 10 Pengyu immortal fruit and ate them. There's some rotten fruits on the ground. It's a waste to abandon them. I'm an animal anyways, so I don't mind, Shadowless said, and swept up more than 10 Pengyu immortal fruit and ate them. The people immediately realized what Shadowless meant, and some of their faces looked bad. There was only a Pengyu immortal fruit tree in the formation. Nothing else. If Shadowless just stopped them, it was fine. After all, they had decided on a distribution method. Everyone would probably get 1 or 2 fruits in the end. But were the fruits on the ground not Pengyu immortal fruit? This guy said he didn't mind, and just ate more than 10. No one said they didn't want the fruit on the ground. This guy swooped them away just because he was fast, so shameless. The fruits on the ground were mature and had a little purple color. It wasn't rotten at all. But there were demonic chi mist before Shadowless. They were controlled all by Shadowless. If Shadowless used it to attack someone, they would have to use the Jade card to teleport out. Yuan Sha's face was bad. If it was some other fruits, it was fine, but more than 10 Pengyu immortal fruit was eaten like snacks by this immortal spirit beast. It was too wasteful. Yi Mo knew Shadowless's greed was going to cause public outcry. He quickly went up and slapped, "Take away your mist. You think everyone will pick up and eat the things on the ground? Move away." Yi Mo took back the mist and walked off to the side pridefully. Yi Mo saluted with his fists. "Immortal friends, there are 201 fruits on the tree. Immortal friend Yuan and Han put in more effort. They get 3 each. The rest of the immortal friends get 2 each. What do you all think?" Yuan Sha's face eased up hearing this and said, "Immortal friend Ning put the greatest effort in, and we've decided on this already, so of course I'm fine. 201 fruits. If Yi Mo was to get 20%, it would be 40, but according to the way Yi Mo divided it now, he would have less than 30. If one didn't count the amount Shadowless took, Yi Mo would be getting below his share. No one mentioned what Shadowless ate anymore. That guy already said He was an animal, meaning that he wasn't human, and he talked about eating from the ground. If anyone mentioned what Shadowless ate, they would be dropping their status. Everyone here had high status backgrounds. If they got no fruits at all, they might bring it up, but now that everyone got two, who would mention it again? Even if they mentioned it, Yemo could just say, I got less than 20%. Overall, everyone was happy with the outcome. Just when Yemo gave 3 fruits to Yuan Sha, Shadowless said happily, boss, according to 20% rule, you should get at least 40. Now, we're losing out. The great Eternity Immortals on the side looked at Shadowless with contempt, but no one wanted to say anything here. They were about to get their fruits. It wasn't wise to offend this immortal spirit beast now. Yemo didn't seem to hear Shadowless and split out the fruits. Soon, everyone got their fruits, and there was only 27 left on the tree. I know. Boss, you should take the tree away. Although we'll still be losing, but it's better than nothing. Shadowless suddenly said. Yemo approved of Shadowless's cunning. He wanted to move the tree away, and he knew that he wasn't the only one. Just when he wanted to say it, Shadowless mentioned it. With this, Yuan Sha's face changed again. He didn't ask for more fruits because he wanted this tree, but now, Shadowless mentioned it again. But before he could talk, Shadowless walked up to the tree and opened his mouth, pulling the entire tree up. Yemo then casually threw it into his storage ring. Sigh, boss, you're such a good person. If it was me, I would take at least 41 fruits, but you only asked for 20 or so. Shadowless sighed. Everyone cursed Shadowless for being so shameless. Was 27-20 or so. Just when Yuan Sha wanted to negotiate with Yemo and get the tree back, the earth from which the tree was pulled away cracked. The people immediately retreated. So did Yemo. A few seconds later, the formation completely collapsed, and then a new mist mountain appeared. This mist mountain was blocked by the formation surrounding the tree. No wonder that spirit item that ran and was gone. There's another formation here. Someone said in joy. Yuan Sha immediately gave up the idea of wanting to ask for the tree. He immediately saluted with his fist to Yemo. Brother Ning, there's another formation there. It seems the real good things are inside. Those who remained here were very excited. One could only imagine that the things behind would be even better. Yemo sneered. He had to break the first formation. Even if he didn't, other people would, at most need half a day to break. This second formation was clearly going to waste more time than the first. Now, there was only half a day before they had to leave. Only an Idoid would make Shadowless break the formation. He would rather wait till these people left, and then come here with Shadowless. Shadowless seemed to know it was his time to perform, and he immediately said feebly, boss, I seem to have eaten too much before. I have a stomach ache now. Am I going to die? Did something happen when you ate the spirit crippling demonic chi? Yes, I ate too much mist. Shadowless said quickly. Yemo slapped over, then hurry up and spit it back out. Do you want to die keeping it in your stomach? Shadowless cursed himself for being so stupid. Compared to boss, he seemed to be lacking a bit. He spewed tens of waves of demonic chi out, and suddenly there was another layer of demonic chi ahead of this formation. Yemo saluted with his fist to Yuan Sha apologetically. Immortal friend Yuan, I'm truly sorry. My pet seems to have eaten too much. I need to take him to a place to rest. The things here are precious, but it doesn't seem to have any fortune with me. Then Yemo didn't wait for a reply, and just hoped on Shadowless. Shadowless blew away instantly, without any signs of weakness. Too shameless. One great Eternity Immortal Tertiary Stage said. Everyone else's face was very bad. Everyone knew what the two was scheming. Shadowless wasn't scared of the demonic chi, and Ning Xiama definitely had a way to avoid it. When they all went out, these two shameless guys would come back for sure. To make things worse, they spewed another barrier of demonic chi before they left, adding to the difficult to break the formation. Yuan Sha looked bleakly at the direction Yi Mo disappeared and said after a moment, "Our time is limited. It's probably very hard to break this formation. Immortal friends, I'll be leaving first." Then he disappeared with his two partners. Seeing this, everyone else left quickly. Now, Yi Mo had moved that Pengyu immortal tree into his golden page world. He felt really good about himself. "Good work today." Yi Mo applauded Shadowless. He was very happy with Shadowless saying the right things at the right time. "Boss, I learn all this from you, but I just realized today that I'm a far cry from you," Shadowless said sycophantically. He was wondering if he should spit back out the fruits he ate. These fruits benefited him greatly too. Yi Mo's face sunk. "When did I teach you such things?" Shadowless immediately knew he said the wrong things, and quickly said, "Boss, I picked up some fruits before. Should I spit it back for you?" "No, you can enjoy it yourself slowly," Yi Mo said speechlessly. Hearing this, Shadowless started to digest the fruits and demonic chi. Yi Mo and Shadowless only walked for half an hour and felt dense immortal spirit chi. Yi Mo and Shadowless only walked for half an hour and felt dense immortal spirit chi before Yi Mo spoke. Shadowless already dashed over. When Shadowless got there, Yi Mo saw why the immortal spirit chi was so good here. There was a top-grade immortal range. It was even bigger than the one he took before. In time, this immortal range might even reach extreme grade immortal range. "Boss, I know this guy," Shadowless said. The great eternity immortal taking the immortal range was Yan Zhouqian. There were battle scenes around him. Shadowless knew Yan Zhouqian because the first time Yi Mo fought Yan Zhouqian, Shadowless ambushed him. Yan Zhouqian also saw Yi Mo and Shadowless. When he saw Shadowless, his eyes lit up immediately, but he didn't stop at all. In just a few seconds, he took the top-grade immortal range into his storage ring. Yi Mo really wanted to charge up and rob it. Yan Zhouqian already progressed faster than him. He was great eternity immortal tertiary stage, and with this immortal range and the high-level immortal spirit herb in here, he would essence blood, able to reach immortal king quickly. But he knew that there was no point even if he charged up. It would only expose his identity quickly. Even Uncle G didn't keep Yan Zhouqian there. "Friend, are you willing to sell this immortal spirit beast? If you do, I can give the immortal range. I just got to you." What confused Yi Mo was that Yan Zhouqian didn't fight with Yi Mo and instead wanted to trade. Shadowless hated when people asked to buy him, and now that Yan Zhouqian said this, he immediately growled. Yi Mo patted Shadowless. He knew that if they fought, Yan Zhouqian would be able to recognize him immediately. There was no point fighting. He didn't want anyone to recognize him here. "Let's go." Yi Mo patted Shadowless, and Shadowless disappeared with him. Yan Zhouqian frowned at the direction Yi Mo left, and after a long while he murmured, "It carries a sliver of dragon force. Is this flying horse a mutated dragon race?" 3 days passed quickly. On the third day, there were more and more people at the Hongyu Square. They were all waiting for the people from Small Heaven Domain to come out. There were a lot of immortal kings in the immortal realm, but compared to great immortals, immortal kings were a rare existence. There might not be an immortal king in 1 million great eternity immortals. Despite King Pill only increasing chance of great eternity immortal breaking through to immortal king by 30%, it was still a priceless pill. In reality, the pill gave a slightly higher chance since many immortals have been stuck at great eternity immortal for countless years. Their foundation was at a peak. The pill only gave them an opportunity to break through. There were too many good things in the Small Heaven Domain, but no matter what, they had to go out. If they didn't, their Jade card would be ruined. Without it, they would be trapped at Small Heaven Domain. Thus, the great eternity immortals all crushed their Jade card and teleported out. The 10 immortal emperors had long been waiting at the asteroid platform. As they came out, The things in their storage ring became naked in the eyes of these immortal emperors. 1100 went in, 958 came out. 5 minutes later, these great eternity immortals and the 10 immortal emperors were teleported back to the square. At the same time, the void asteroid platform suddenly exploded, and so did the surveillance formation images. One immortal monarch saw this, and his face changed. He immediately came to Wei Feng, immortal emperor, and bowed, "Heaven Lord Master." The asteroid platform exploded. How does the next batch of people go in? Wei Feng, immortal emperor, heard this and sneered, "There is no next batch. The small heaven domain is about to explode. Why send more people in?" Subconsciously said, "But what if people still haven't come out?" Before going in, we already said there is only 3 days' time. If they don't come out within 3 days, then they have to pay the consequences. Wei Feng, immortal emperor, finished and couldn't be bothered talking to this immortal monarch. How could he not know why this immortal monarch asked this? Clearly he had disciples or related people that stayed behind. Wei Feng, immortal emperor, stood on the stage and said loudly, "This trip has been rather fulfilling. Although some prodigies died, it's a rather low lethality rate compared to other trial grounds. Now, we will announce what was found at the small heaven domain before talking about distribution." Before Wei Feng, immortal emperor, finished, one great eternity immortal tertiary stage walked up and bowed, "Heaven Lord Master." Someone went against the rules inside. He ate Peng Yu immortal fruit and killed Dongming Emperor Sek's Fu Xingxing. Before this great eternity immortal finished, one long-eyebrowed man flew over and grabbed this great eternity immortal. "Who dares to kill Dongming Emperor Sek's disciple? Speak. Li Long, want to see who has the balls." The great eternity immortal quickly said, "Li Long, immortal emperor master." This person probably changed his face, but I'm certain Master can find him. He has a dragon horse, immortal spirit beast. The stage below was noisy. To these immortals, they didn't care if people were killed. They cared about Peng Yu immortal fruit being found inside. Wei Feng, immortal emperor, walked over and smiled, "Li Long, immortal emperor. On my account, please put down this great eternity immortal. No matter who it is, he's dead, for certain to disregard our rules." Wei Feng, immortal emperor, didn't even take Li Long, immortal emperor, seriously, but he was shocked about Dragon Horse. Dragon Horse also belonged to the dragon race. How could it be a pet? Li Long, immortal emperor, nodded and let go of that great eternity immortal, be specific. They were a top big sect, but they couldn't disregard Wei Feng, immortal emperor, Feng Kong, and Dragon River Grand Emperor, as well as a few immortal emperor, all walked over after hearing Dragon Horse. The great eternity immortal quickly said, "That person is called Ning Xiaoma. His pet isn't necessarily Dragon Horse. It looks like a dragon horse, but has a pair of golden wings. It devoured Fu Xingxing in one mouth. Yu Qizhen and I tried to stop it, but was struck back by that great eternity immortal in one blow. 89 people saw this. His pet can also devour spirit, crippling demonic qi." What? Almost all the immortal emperors were shocked. Based on the descriptions, this was a mutated god beast for certain. That great eternity immortal was no ordinary person to be able to defeat two great eternity immortal tertiary stage in one move. Everyone who saw this person and his pet stand out, Feng Kong immediately said. Even Yen Jiuqian stood out. He knew his power wasn't enough, and he couldn't lie here. He cursed why he had to see Yimo. Suddenly, a purple-robed man appeared on the stage. No one saw how he appeared, but when he did, even Wei Feng Grand Emperor, Feng Kong Grand Emperor, and them saluted with their fists. The purple-robed man nodded and scanned these 86 great eternity immortals. He asked almost everyone who tried to cheat before and didn't find who he wanted. He waited here to see if that person successfully cheated. When he heard that Ning Xiaoma was using a masquerade, he wanted to find this Ning Xiaoma even more. Wei Feng, immortal emperor, knew Han Xiaofu. He smiled to Han Xiaofu and nodded. "Your Feng, Nian, immortal emperor's disciple, right? Han Xiaofu quickly bowed. Yes, Feng, Nian Immortal Emperor, is my master. Tell me about that Ning Xiaoma. Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, smiled. Han Xiaofu didn't hide anything, and told them about how Yi Mo dominantly attacked and stole the Pengyu fruit tree as well as 27 fruits. Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, scanned the 900 or so people and said slowly, which of you know who is Ning Xiaoma? Stand out. Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, scanned the 900 or so people and said slowly, which of you know who is Ning Xiaoma? Stand out. No one spoke, nor did anyone move. Feng Kong, Grand Emperor, said plainly, this person schemed that much, he probably wouldn't appear here. According to what he did before, he should still be in the small heaven domain attacking that mist formation. The purple-robed man suddenly said, how long would it be possible to send people in the small heaven domain again? Wei Feng, Grand Emperor, shook his head. We've investigated small heaven domain for a long while. It's completely surrounded by mist and is in a delicate balance. If we tear the outside space, it would draw some void elements in to the small heaven domain, breaking the balance. And the amount of people, how long they stay there, and their power would also affect the balance of the small heaven domain. We've calculated the longest time 1,000 or so great eternity immortal tertiary stage can stay in there is 3 days. 3 days later, the balance would be broken and it would self-destruct. Even Immortal Emperor wouldn't be able to stand that self-destruct. This was like a container containing all sorts of gas. If the inside was ravaged, then the container might explode. The purple-robed man nodded and said nothing. He knew his lead might break from here again. He suspected that great eternity immortal with dragon horse was definitely in the small heaven domain. But if the small heaven domain exploded, he would lose all clues. Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, looked at the great eternity immortals and said those who got chaos spirit item or rare immortal spirit herbs come out. One great eternity immortal tertiary stage with a black mark on his face got up and took out a jade box. Immortal Emperor Masters. Wan Bei saw a spirit item with its own intelligence. It was too fast, and Wan Bei was only able to keep one of its arm. When this jade box was taken out, the surroundings suddenly seemed cold. Even annoyed minds calmed down. Before Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, moved, Feng Kong, Grand Emperor, took the jade box and opened it. It wasn't an arm inside, but a white root. Ice Ginseng King. All the Immortal Emperors looked at this root and took a cold breath in. Ice Ginseng King was definitely the top special treasure. If it was a complete Ice Ginseng King, it could even help people learn Dao art and help Immortal Emperor peak stage vindicate Dao. If it was below Immortal Emperor, it would be even more useful. This was definitely first-class treasure. All the Immortal Emperors looked at the Ice Ginseng King root. Even the purple-robed man stared at it with a sliver of desire. Feng Kong, Grand Emperor, sighed. Pity it's only one root. If it's the entire Ice Ginseng King, it would be too perfect. He then gave the jade box to Wei Feng, Grand Emperor. You can keep it first. We'll divide it later. Okay. Wei Feng nodded, and then said to the great eternity, Immortal, you're very good. What is your name? Wan Bei, Demon Joy Sect. Lu Ju. The great eternity immortal quickly bowed. Okay, you can keep 20% of what you got. Wei Feng, Grand Emperor, nodded. Thank you, Heaven Lord Master. Lu Chu bowed again. Heaven Lord Master, Wan Bei saw this spirit item. Yuan Sha said, You saw the Ice Ginseng King? Wei Feng, Grand Emperor, quickly asked. Yuan Sha said, Yes. We attacked the mist formation with Ning Xiaoma because the spirit item went inside. But there was a formation inside a formation, and we only got Pengyu immortal fruits from the first formation. Han Xiaofu and them came out to testify too. Sigh. It's a pity. Dragon River Grand Emperor shook his head. Indeed, it's a pity, but we got something at least. Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, said, and waved out a huge, long, immortal jade desk and said to the rest of the people, "Take out what you have and place it on the jade table, and then leave your name." No one dared to hide what they got inside, and took it all out. Even Yen Jiuqian didn't dare to hide his immortal range. He took out both immortal ranges he found. Immediately, immortal spirit chi spilled everywhere, and the immortals below were blinded by this. There were even level 9 immortal spirit herbs. Dragon River Grand Emperor picked up Pengyu immortal fruit up and looked. This is a top-grade Pengyu immortal fruit. If they matured on the tree themselves, they would be priceless. The other immortal emperors nodded. They didn't expect to get this many Pengyu immortal fruit in the small heaven domain. It was very hard for the fruits to mature on the tree. Usually they were red while still on the tree. Only when picked would they slowly turn purple. The fruits on the table were faint purple, clearly due to being picked off. If they were purple on the tree, then they would the best Pengyu immortal fruit. But turning purple on the tree was very rare. Not only was a long time needed, but there even requires a sliver of chaos chi. Those great eternity immortal who came out all must go through the heart door again. They would be asked 2 questions. 1, if you kept anything you got in the small heaven domain. 2, do you know Ning Xiaoma? They all passed, and no one lied. The purple-robed man sighed. He knew it would be like this. If Ning Xiaoma was so easily caught, he wouldn't have escaped in the first place. Yi Mo, just as they guessed, brought Shadowless back to the second mist formation. Shadowless sucked it like a whale, and all the mist was devoured. Then Shadowless said gloatingly, "Boss, see, I'm useful. I knew those trash wouldn't be able to break this formation in half a day. Now we can get these things and find even better places. Without anyone in here, we can get wealthy all we like in here." Shut up and break the formation. Yi Mo released the world rock. He felt Shadowless was much more useful than before. He still had a huge appetite, but he could do smoothing now. But before Yi Mo smashed this formation, suddenly a white figure dashed out, and Yi Mo subconsciously released his world rock to stop it. But just when he did, the white light stopped. Yi Mo knew he didn't stop it. The white light stopped itself. Only now did Yi Mo see that a pitiful-looking baby came out of the formation. One arm was gone. It wore snow-white clothes. Even its hair was white. "Boss, this thing looks very tasty." Shadowless stared at this baby and licked its lips. Yi Mo realized this was the spirit item Yuan Sha and them were talking about. "Boss!" The baby copied Shadowless and called. Shadowless immediately yelled, "Who told you to say that? Do you have the right to? Answer Boss's questions, and I'll eat you in one gulp later." The baby subconsciously retreated a little hearing this. Yi Mo waved his hand, making Shadowless retreat, and asked, "You stayed on your own accord, right? Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to catch up to you, right?" "Yes, boss." The baby looked fearfully at Shadowless on the side. "Boss, I can definitely chase it. If you don't believe me, let it go first. I'll catch him soon." Shadowless quickly said. He had a bad feeling he might have a competitor in the Chaos world later. "You definitely can't catch up to me," the baby said. "If it wasn't that it had nowhere to do, it wouldn't stay." Shadowless said in contempt, "I can definitely catch up to you. Plus, what's the use of just running? Can you scheme for boss? If it wasn't my idea, you would have been caught by those who broke the formation." Yi Mo ignored Shadowless and looked at this spirit item asking, "What's your original form? Why don't you run?" "My original form is Ice Ginseng. This place is about to be destroyed due to outsiders coming. I have nowhere to run to," the baby said in terror. "My original form is Ice Ginseng. This place is about to be destroyed due to outsiders coming. I have nowhere to run to," the baby said in terror. "You're Ice Ginseng King?" Yi Mo asked in shock, but then added, "How do you know this place is about to be destroyed?" The Ice Ginseng King shook its head. "I don't know how I know, but I feel this place is about to be destroyed. Perhaps I've stayed here for too long." Yi Mo extended his spirit sense out. His premonition had usually been very strong, but this time he didn't feel it at all. The small heaven domain would be destroyed. Why would it be destroyed? But after a while, he really felt some uneasiness. Mo didn't know if it was the placebo effect. Boss, I seem to have this feeling too. I thought too much before. It's real. Shadowless added on the side. Boss, can you take me away from here? The Ice Ginseng King asked fearfully. Mo nodded. Yes, but I have to go find some immortal spirit items. I'm not leaving now. Mo looked at the Ice Ginseng King. He knew it was the top grade thing. Even if he didn't use it for pill concoction and just ate it straight up, he would be able to reach Immortal King without any damage to Foundation. But this Ice Ginseng King already had its own intelligence and even morphed into human. Eating it was like eating a human. Mo really couldn't take it. Everything in the world had a spirit. Hearing this, the Ice Ginseng King was worried, but then it saw Mo's eyes and suddenly sighs. It looked like they were going to eat it, and it immediately began shaking. Boss, are you going to eat this small ice ginseng? Shadowless asked shamelessly on the side. Mo sighed and waved his hand. No need. Everything has spirit. Ice Ginseng King already formed into human. Eating it is too ruthless. And it told me this news regardless if it's real or not. At least I'm prepared now. Thank you, boss. The Ice Ginseng King was very grateful. You can follow me, but you can only stay inside my world. Without my order, you can't come out. Mo said very seriously. Mo wasn't going to let Ice Ginseng King leave after it went inside the Golden Page world. If it was caught by some other immortal, even his Golden Page world would be exposed. Not everyone wouldn't eat the Ice Ginseng King. The Ice Ginseng King hesitated and said, I'm willing. Although he had to stay inside Mo's Golden Page world, it was better than dying. Mo nodded. Okay, I'll give you a name. Boss, just call him Small Ginseng. It doesn't sound as cool as my name, but it suits this small ice ginseng. Shadowless quickly said. Okay, Small Ginseng is good. Mo immediately agreed. The Ice Ginseng King wasn't satisfied, but it had no choice but to agree. It existed much longer than Shadowless, but was called Small Ginseng. Boss, there's an extreme grade Small Ginseng here. The Ice Ginseng King said without Mo asking. Hearing this, Shadowless quickly said, Boss, I'll help you break formation. For Shadowless, he could come out completely because he could find spirit items. How could he let the Ice Ginseng King rob his job? What if Boss felt he was useless and threw him back into the Golden Page world? Then he wouldn't be able to eat freely. Hit this position and then hit 50 CMS left, 80 CMS right, 10 times each. Leave 1 second in between. And for the last time, leave 7 seconds in between. And you can break the formation quickly. Ice Ginseng King said innocently, What do you know? Shadowless didn't bite where Small Ginseng pointed, but its bite only shook the formation a little. Mo released World Rock and smashed at where Small Ginseng said. Crack, this formation was broken. Mo dazed. The easier formation before took half a day with 80 or so people to attack, but now this harder formation was so easily broken with the help of Small Ginseng. Shadowless stood awkwardly on the side. While Mo looked at Ice Ginseng King in confusion. Small Ginseng, you're experienced in formation? Small Ginseng shook its head. I've been living here for countless years. I know this natural formation already. The dense, immortal spirit chi came into his face before Mo moved. Shadowless already dug open the earth. Its extreme, great immortal range, indeed. Mo was overjoyed. With this, if he spent some time in the time formation disk, his progression won't be slower than Yen Jiutian. Mo then waved Shadowless and Small Ginseng into the Golden Page world. He told them that he would be putting this extreme great immortal range in. When they went in, Mo started setting up formation. This was harder than putting in top-grade Small Ginseng. Mo had to ensure the immortal range wouldn't be damaged. This place is Chaos World. Ice Ginseng King stood in the Golden Page world completely dumbfounded. He thought Yimo's world was only going to be a small world. He didn't expect this was a chaos world. If he knew it was, he wouldn't leave even if he was asked to. There's also bitter bamboo of the 10 great spirit items. The Ice Ginseng King was in amazement. Comparatively, he didn't care that much about the yellow middle plum branch. Hillbilly, Shadowless said in contempt. Shadowless then pointed at the bitter bamboo and warned, let me warn you, you must not go in within 1,000 centimeter radius of the bitter bamboo, or the boss will roast you, and so will I. You understand? I understand. Ice Ginseng King quickly answered. Call Big Brother, Shadowless reproached. Ice Ginseng King quickly called Big Brother. Shadowless was very happy with this, and nodded, don't call Boss Brother Yi, or he will skin you. I had to think for a long while before figuring out calling him boss. I gave you this benefit. Never mind, follow me first. Ice Ginseng King nodded and followed Shadowless to the other side of the Golden Page world. Shadowless pointed at that place surrounded with restriction. You can't go in a 6 kilometers radius of that place. Even I can only stay outside of 3 kilometers radius. Ice Ginseng King didn't ask why Shadowless could go closer. It was completely dumbfounded. It murmured to itself, I actually saw Chaos Tree, Chaos World, Chaos Tree. Boss is too amazing. Shadowless sneered, so you have some knowledge. Of course Boss is great, but your compliments are too bad. You're not allowed to suck up to Boss, you understand? I want to go up and see the Chaos Tree. The Ice Ginseng King continued to say. Do you not want to live? Did you not hear what I said? Even I can only stay outside 3 kilometers radius, but you want to go up. If the boss comes back, you will definitely be roasted and eaten. Shadowless threatened. Small Ginseng shivered, and eventually didn't go up, seeing Small Ginseng being scared. Shadowless pointed at the immortal spirit herb. Happily, this immortal spirit herb garden is yours. I will be sleeping under the bitter bamboo. You can sleep in the immortal spirit herb garden. These immortal spirit herb are all for me. Ice Ginseng King didn't care about these low-level immortal spirit herb, but he felt very happy to be taken seriously as soon as he came. Keep dreaming. Last time I ate a few level 3. No, it seemed to be very little level immortal spirit herb, and boss almost roasted and ate me. You dare to touch the immortal spirit herb here? Shadowless reproached. I don't dare to, but you said it's for me? Ice Ginseng King asked nervously. I was taking care of it before. Now it's up to you. You need to take care of their growth. If problems arises, boss will roast you and eat you. Small Ginseng's face was green from hearing all these roastings and eatings. After a long while, Small Ginseng asked softly, Big Brother, you gave the immortal spirit herb garden to me to take care of. What are you going to do? Shadowless walked towards the bitter bamboo a few steps and said, Do you not see a bitter bamboo here? And the chaos tree over there, they need to be taken care of by me. You're so clumsy. What if you damage it? Didn't you say you can't enter a 3 kilometers radius of the chaos tree? Small Ginseng looked at Shadowless in confusion. Shadowless was lost for words. He could only stern his face up. I'm looking after it from afar. I would take a few glances at it once in a while. Small Ginseng was lost for words. It suddenly felt this big brother didn't seem to be very reliable. Seeing Small Ginseng use some immortal crystals to set up things around the chaos tree, and even pile up into mountains, Shadowless couldn't take it anymore and rushed to Small Ginseng, and reproached little thing, Did you not hear what boss said? Do you not want to live? The first thing that boss will do after coming out of solitary cultivation will be to roast you. Seeing Small Ginseng use some immortal crystals to set up things around the chaos tree, and even pile up into mountains, Shadowless couldn't take it anymore and rushed to Small Ginseng, and reproached little thing, Did you not hear what boss said? Do you not want to live? The first thing that boss will do after coming out of solitary cultivation will be to roast you. Small Ginseng looked feebly at Shadowless and said, Big brother, you seem to have gone into a 3 kilometers radius of the chaos tree. I'm teaching you a lesson. Did you not hear it? Shadowless was shook. Boss said he would definitely be roasted if he went inside a 3 kilometers radius of the chaos tree. But in front of his henchmen, his tone definitely couldn't be weak. Oh, thanks for reminding me, Big Brother. When Boss comes out, I will tell him what happened. I'll say that I'm helping the chaos tree grow. But Big Brother didn't trust me. And so he came next to the chaos tree. Hearing the latter half of the sentence, Shadowless's eyes immediately changed. He sneered. I just came to remind you, otherwise I would never disobey Boss's order. Then Shadowless turned around and murmured, no one took care of the immortal spirit herb garden. A few immortal spirit herbs died. When Boss comes out, I will report what happened. Of course I know that Big Brother has been taking of the immortal spirit herb garden for me and never came next to the chaos tree. Thank you, Big Brother. Small Ginseng immediately said. Before he finished, Shadowless already appeared at the immortal spirit herb garden. Shadowless suddenly realized that it seemed to be a long journey ahead to control this new little brother. Time flew by, and Yemo gradually forgot time in the time formation disk cultivation. He was planning to use Void, flying snow to fly, but he went into a state of trance and didn't even realize that 7 years had gone by outside. A top-grade immortal range, plus a few billion immortal crystals, wasn't something a small fragmented extreme-grade small ginseng could compare with. Extreme-grade small ginseng had denser immortal spirit chi, but once it was broken, the immortal spirit chi would disperse really quickly. The cultivation effect wouldn't be better than a complete top-grade immortal range. When the top-grade immortal range cracked and turned into nothing, Yemo finally woke up. He got up and realized that he had spent 700 years in the time formation disk. A complete top-grade immortal range was completely used up. The pills he had prepared before were mostly gone. Even the 4 billion immortal crystals only had 2 billion remain. What shocked him even more was that the complete extreme grade immortal range was used up little by the spirit-gathering immortal formation. Even though it was only a small portion of the extreme grade immortal range, it was still so much better than the immortal spirit chi of the top-grade immortal range. Yemo was speechless. After using all these things in his solitary cultivation, he only just reached into Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary Stage. He thought he would be able to barely reach Immortal King Middle Stage with 2 Immortal Range, but now it seemed he could only reach Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage at most. Yemo felt the powerful immortal essence flowing inside his body. His spirit sense was more complete. The power made him feel safe, but the resources he wasted made his head hurt. In fact, reaching Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary Stage from Great Eternity Immortal Primary Stage wasn't really fast, but wasn't slow either. Some prodigies could reach Immortal King Middle Stage with 700 years. The amount of resources he used up was enough to supply a small sect for a few years. He was only at Great Immortal now. Once he reached status Immortal, just how much more resources would he need? Yemo's head ached upon contemplating this. Shadowless needed a lot of resources to progress, but compared to him, it was very little. Thinking about Shadowless, Yemo immediately put away the time formation disk and walked out. He wondered how the two were getting along these years. As soon as Yemo came out, he saw Shadowless sleeping in the immortal spirit herb garden while Small Ginseng was doing things around the chaos tree. However, the chaos tree was 15 cms taller. It was around 30 cms tall now. The growth speed was extremely rapid. Yemo was overjoyed. The chaos tree had been in his chaos world for a few years, but was only 6 cms taller than before. This growth must be due to Small Ginseng. Boss, your power grew quite a lot. Shadowless immediately crawled up and ran over. Yemo nodded and looked at the immortal spirit herb garden. The immortal spirit herbs didn't disappear from the garden, right? No. Although Small Ginseng is lazy and gave the job of looking after it to me, I took care of it very well. Even the lowest level immortal spirit herb didn't go missing, and they're growing very well. Shadowless immediately said, "Boss, you finished solitary cultivation." Small Ginseng's voice scared Shadowless. This little thing was too fast. Yi Emo looked satisfyingly at Small Ginseng and said, "It's probably due to you that the chaos tree is growing so fast, right?" The Small Ginseng immediately nodded, yes. At the primary stage of the chaos tree's growth, it doesn't really need immortal spirit chi, but chaos chi, I set up a formation to draw chaos chi over, so the chaos tree grows really fast. Big Brother Shadowless saw I was busy, so he took on helping me look after the immortal spirit herb garden. Last time Big Brother warned me. How could Shadowless let Small Ginseng say he went near the chaos tree? He quickly interrupted and said, "Yes, yes, I saw Small Ginseng was very hard-working taking care of the chaos tree. So I took care of the immortal spirit herb garden." Although Shadowless' words were conflicting, Yi Emo didn't care. He cared about how Small Ginseng could draw chaos chi over to provide to the chaos tree for growth. Before he set up a few spirit gathering formation just so the chaos tree could grow, and he used countless immortal crystals, but it didn't do much. However, Small Ginseng had such ability. He really got a treasure. "Not bad, not bad," Yi Emo repeated a few times. Yi Emo walked up to the chaos tree. A clearer chi came, making Yi Emo feel very refreshed. The bigger the chaos tree was, the more clear its effects were. "Small Ginseng, I didn't expect you no formation to draw chaos tree. I should reward you well." Yi Emo patted Small Ginseng's head. Small Ginseng quickly said, "I've lived at the small heaven domain for countless years. I know a lot of natural formations that many spirit items rely on to survive. I slowly created this chaos chi gathering formation." Yi Emo nodded. "Very well, you can be responsible for looking after the chaos tree. As for your broken arm, I'll think of a way to cure it." Small Ginseng quickly thanked and said, "Boss, it's not easy to reattach my arm. Unless there's an Ice Ginseng King the same level as me, my arm wouldn't be able to be repaired. I can forcefully grow out an arm, but that would use up my essence chi." Then Ice Ginseng King looked at Yi Emo awkwardly. "If the chaos tree can grow to 3 meters tall, I can use it to nourish my body. If it grows to 30 meters tall, my arm can recover in half a month. If it's 300 meters tall, my arm would recover in a few seconds." "It's this powerful." Shadowless was shocked. He also snuck up next to the chaos tree, but no one said anything. Yi Emo was truly astonished too. "Boss, when the chaos tree grows to 3 meters, you can make it recognize you as master, and then move it to your dantian. Then you will live with the heavens and earth, and live for all eternity." Ice Ginseng King said. Yi Emo waved his hand. "That can wait." If he couldn't vindicate Tao, taking the chaos tree out and spilling its chi was suicide. "Stay in here, I'm going out to see where we're at now." Yi Emo dashed out of the Golden Page world. After coming out of the Golden Page world, Yi Emo immediately released Space Time Boat. After coming out of the Golden Page world, Yi Emo immediately released Space Time Boat. In the vast universe, the endless void was so much larger than heaven domain voids. Yi Emo stood before the location disk on the space-time boat speechlessly. It was blank. He just knew he was in the void. He didn't even know which dimension he was. Yi Emo called out Shadowless and Small Ginseng. These two guys were clueless about this place too. "Boss, where are we going now?" Shadowless wasn't scared. "You can control the space-time boat. Remember, if there's a signal on the location disk, tell me immediately. I'm going to keep cultivating." Yi Emo pulled Shadowless over and said. Hearing this, Shadowless was immediately excited. "Leave it to me. I can too." Small Ginseng licked its lips and said, "Bo, look at your small body." Shadowless kept shaking his head. Yi Emo waved his hand. "You guys can go in and out of the Golden Page world. I'm going inside for solitary cultivation." As for controlling the space-time boat, Shadowless and Small Ginseng can take turns. Then Yi-Mo went inside the Golden Page world. He dragged the extreme Great Immortal Range before him. He must quickly reach Great Eternity Immortal Peak stage and find a place for divine damnation. Once he reached Immortal King primary stage, he would immediately go to Low Heaven Domain, Gong, Hua Heaven, and set up his sect attracting the people who ascended from MOU. The space-time boat sped ahead. The two had great fun on the way. Yi-Mo was still in solitary cultivation, and he was Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary stage. There was still some distance before he reached peak stage. As for King Pill, he could concoct that whenever he reached Great Eternity Immortal Peak stage, "Big brother, it's my turn to control the space-time boat." Small Ginseng saw that Shadowless time was up, but he didn't intend to move aside at all. Shadowless came down from the seat helplessly. He felt he should reset the time Small Ginseng controlled the space-time boat. Each time he gave it to Small Ginseng, this guy would change a direction. However, Small Ginseng wasn't scared of him now. You can control it, but you can't change direction. Big Boss wants to find a heaven domain quickly. If you keep changing direction, we're going to keep wasting time in the void. Shadowless brought up his opinion seriously. Shadowless brother, this is what I wanted to talk to you about too. Each time I choose a direction, I have this premonition, but every time you change my direction away. This way, how long would it take for us to find a small heaven domain? Small Ginseng rebuked. How do you know that the direction I chose isn't special? I have a premonition too, Shadowless said unhappily, but before he finished, he heard Small Ginseng's gasp of amazement. What is it? Shadowless immediately asked. Something appeared on the location disk, Small Ginseng quickly said, and then said, "We must have found a heaven domain." Shadowless, you control this. I'll call boss. Then Small Ginseng went into Golden Page world without even calling Shadowless big brother. Hearing this, Shadowless didn't notice that Small Ginseng didn't call him big brother, and immediately came to the location disk. There was a black figure on the screen. At first it seemed to be moving, but soon it stopped, but there wasn't a void location like Boss said. This meant that they were still in the void. Another half a year passed outside the time formation disk. Yi-Mo received Small Ginseng's news. He immediately stopped solitary cultivation and came out. "Boss, there's a black shadow on the location disk." Shadowless quickly moved aside. Yi-Mo knew this black shadow wasn't a heaven domain. Otherwise, it would be marked. Yi-Mo controlled space-time boat to get near that black shadow. 2 hours later, Yi-Mo slowed the boat down. He saw that the location disk outlined an immortal ship. When space-time boat went closer, and Yi-Mo was certain it was a real immortal ship, he stopped immediately. He had encountered ghost ship before. Was he this lucky that he encountered another one? Yi-Mo waited a long while, and the immortal ship still didn't move. Yi-Mo carefully went closer, and this time he saw even clearer. That ship parked eerily in the void, and was very similar to the ghost ship he saw last time, but was much smaller. Yi-Mo decisively turned the space-time boat and left rapidly. There were too much things between him and Truth Divine Emperor. He didn't want to encounter another ghost ship controlled by Truth Divine Emperor's fragmented soul. Why did this person leave? At the top of the believed ghost ship, a white-robed, extremely beautiful woman stared at the huge surveillance screen and asked, "Mistress, should we send someone after him?" An equally beautiful purple-robed female immortal said respectfully. The white-robed woman nodded. "No need. Let the immortal ship follow him. We're already lost. Since he can appear here, it means he is void map." As soon as Yi-Mo left, he breathed easy. Luckily, he noticed early. Otherwise, if he was sucked over by that immortal ship, he would be over. Suddenly, he saw that the black dot on the location disk grew larger and larger. Clearly, it was coming closer to him. Yi-Mo was shocked. He quickly sent Shadowless and Small Ginseng into the Golden Page world, while increasing the space-time boat speed to the max space-time boat was low-grade god artifact, and was very small. Yet, that immortal ship could keep up with space-time boat. This was too terrifying. Yemo had really never seen a low-grade god artifact that was this large. What shocked Yemo more was that the ghost ship followed him. He had never heard that a ghost ship would chase someone. Yemo sped up more and finally drew the distance between them, but soon he was lost for words. Although the distance between them was getting larger, he couldn't lose them. Such a powerful flying magic artifact. It's probably a low-grade god artifact. It should be a powerful being who owns such a flying magic artifact. Why did he run as soon as he saw us? The white-robed female immortal frowned. This person seemed sneaky. Perhaps he had done something bad. The purple-robed female immortal said. The white-robed female immortal smiled. No matter what he has done, it has nothing to do with us. We just want to know the way. Plus, we're not powerful. If this guy is an immortal monarch, we're no match for him at all. It's all because of that pack of void, iron-winged bear. Otherwise, how can we be forced here? The purple-robed female immortal complained. We should feel lucky to be able to escape that many. If our immortal ship isn't fast, we wouldn't even be able to get out. The white-robed female immortal said. Yemo only focused on running, and when a dark veil of void immortal spirit beast pressed over, he realized he was surrounded. Void iron-winged bear? Yemo's face went bad. There were void iron-winged bears all around. They were already stopped here waiting for him to fall into the trap. There were void iron-winged bears all around. They were already stopped here waiting for him to fall into the trap. The void iron-winged bears were extremely fast in the void and were also very smart. Their hide was thick and they knew how to fight in an army. Their mouth was sharp like spear. Their main talents were flame blades and tearing. Their teeth were like immortal artifact. Even an immortal king would lose a piece of flesh after being bitten. If it was just these void iron-winged bears, Yemo wouldn't mind too much. He would call out Shadowless and fight his way out. But now he couldn't. It would draw out time if he was surrounded by them. Then the ghost ship would catch up, compared to these void iron-winged bears. Yemo was more worried about the ghost ship. However, he didn't have the time to think too much. The void iron-winged bears had surrounded over. Yemo released Zisu and shot out lightning sword arcs. These void iron-winged bears were all level 4 and above immortal beasts. Some were even level 6 peak stage. Yemo breathed easy. Luckily, there weren't level 7 void iron-winged bears. If there were, he would have to go into the Golden Page world even if it meant exposing it. Yemo had seen level 7 immortal spirit beast before in the 7 refined tower. After the lightning swords shot out, lightning splashed out in the void as lightning swords rained down. Only now did Yemo found that his lightning sword went from pure black to a sliver of blue. Crack. Gray color splashed everywhere. It was the blood of the void iron-winged bears. At the same time, countless flame blades also swept at Yemo. Yemo quickly released a defensive cauldron he forged and put away the space-time boat. The octagonal cauldron was still broken. Although he spirit-controlled it, Yemo didn't want to use it yet. He wanted to use it after he repaired it. These void iron-winged bears were only level 4 to level 6. His level 6 defensive immortal artifact should be enough to stop them for half a day. Mistress, it's the void iron-winged bears again. What do we do? The purple-robed girl said shakily. Quickly change direction and open attack restriction. The white-robed female immortal regretted just being focused on the chase and forgetting about the cunning void iron-winged bears. Thud, thud, thud. The densely cluttered flame blade struck Yemo's defensive immortal artifact. In just 15 minutes, there were cracks on the immortal artifact. Another 5 minutes later, the immortal artifact shattered. completely in a crack. Without it, the endless flame blades soon tore apart Yi Mo's immortal essence and struck Yi Mo's body. Yi Mo frowned. Individual void iron-winged bears were nothing, but their combined power was this shocking. Just when he wanted to call out Shadowless to help, he saw that immortal ship appear in his spirit sense. The ship started attacking void iron-winged bears, and there were even magic artifact released. Seeing this, Yi Mo knew he had mistaken. This ship wasn't a ghost ship. If he knew this earlier, he wouldn't run and get caught in the void iron-winged bears. Knowing that it wasn't ghost ship, Yi Mo didn't dare to call out Shadowless and even warned Shadowless to not come out. He changed his face to a young, ordinary face. He couldn't let anyone have any clue of what he did at Small Heaven Domain and Hongyu Immortal City. Yi Mo didn't plan to run anymore. After knowing it wasn't the ghost ship, he focused on fighting these void iron-winged bears. He couldn't even be bothered using defensive magic artifact. With his immortal spirit body power, he could fight while practicing body refinement. Yi Mo released waves after waves of dense lightning sword. He also kept hacking out Zisu. Illusion Cloud Domain Kill Strike brought out waves of 1 km long sword rays in the void. From afar, they were like vibrant purple rainbows that were extremely beautiful. In a short time, tens of miles of radius around Yi Mo was filled with sword ray and lightning rays. Patches of void iron-winged bears were killed and countless flame blades struck Yi Mo's body. All sorts of wounds piled up on Yi Mo's body, but they quickly repaired under Yi Mo's body refinement cultivation method. Half a day later, Yi Mo didn't know how many void iron-winged bears he had killed, but he was still surrounded by them. His body was covered in red. He was surrounded by the endless flame blades. Some void iron-winged bears even charged up to Yi Mo, wanting to bite him. Eventually, even those void iron-winged bears attacking the immortal ship were drawn over attacking Yi Mo like crazy. Lightning arcs, sword rays, flame blades, wars mixed up in this void, and the range kept expanding. If this wasn't a void, but a place with light, one could see that this entire area was filled with gray blood. Yi Mo was completely immersed in this slaughter. Every time when his immortal essence was about to dry up, he ate a pill, same with when his spirit sense was about to run out. Yi Mo didn't know his pills were rapidly depleting, and the pill poison was building up in his body. After those waves of lightning sword shot out, a domain of lightning formed by his mind. He could feel it even in the slaughter that there was this lightning he was about to grasp. At the same time, waves of purple sword rays shot out, forming an area of void around him. He felt he was about to have a new breakthrough. The immortal ship stopped not far ahead. They didn't run. All the people on the ship were dumbfounded. Even the two immortal kings were dazed. Just what sort of person was this? He was this terrifying. He didn't seem to have reached immortal king yet. There was such a powerful, great, eternity immortal. Even immortal king wouldn't be able to do this large area of carnage without domain. That white-robed female immortal looked at Yi Mo in disbelief. She had the feeling that the person in the slaughter was under this special state. Sometimes she couldn't even feel his presence. Who could have sudden enlightenment in slaughter? But if this wasn't sudden enlightenment, how could he be in that state? So powerful, the purple-robed female immortal breathed after a long while. Just when his lightning sword was about to break through, Yi Mo felt his body suddenly crack, and in a short while, he felt his body increase another level. His body refinement went from immortal spirit body primary stage to middle stage. But then he lost his sudden enlightenment. His lightning sword was stuck again. Yi Mo had this itching feeling he was on the verge of breakthrough, but he couldn't. Yi Mo no longer had the mood to slaughter these void, iron-winged bears one by one. He punched out wave kill. With this, the nearby temperature immediately rose up before the wave kill even came out. The terrifying heat already swept the surrounding. Rumble. A destructive force was released. There was no confinements here, and wave kill spewed out like a horse without reins. The void was lit up by the flame wave. Endless void iron-winged bears were defenseless in the wave. Low-level void iron-winged bears were instantly disintegrated, and higher-level void iron-winged bears were killed even if they survived the first wave. The red flame wave was like the violent seas mixed with huge rumbling sounds. After the second wave, the third wave rose out of thin air. After 3 wave kills, Yi Mo didn't feel his immortal essence run dry. Instead, he learned the 4th wave kill. Yi Mo was overjoyed. After 3 wave kills, Yi Mo didn't feel his immortal essence run dry. Instead, he learned the 4th wave kill. Yi Mo was overjoyed. Before wave kill ended, the void iron-winged bears loosened up. In a sharp shriek, the endless void iron-winged bears retreated. The nearby space cleared up immediately. Yi Mo breathed easy and didn't use the 4th wave kill. If it was somewhere else, he might try it, but here he didn't dare to. The 3 wave kills didn't completely use up his immortal essence and spirit sense, but he didn't know what the 4th wave would do. There was still an immortal ship here. Just when Yi Mo ate 2 pills, he saw a 100-meter-long figure charge at him. In a petrifying roar, a huge mouth opened up towards Yi Mo instantly. Yi Mo felt the confinement of the void. Level 7 void iron-winged bears? Yi Mo saw it clearly. Yi Mo immediately used tens of spirit sense blades when he felt the pressure and broke free from this squeeze. At the same time, he used mobility technique. Yi Mo didn't want to fight a level 7 void iron-winged bears head-on. The void iron-winged bears didn't stop at all after missing. It charged at Yi Mo again. Clearly, it was furious that Yi Mo killed this many void iron-winged bears. Rumble, rumble. 2 huge explosions sounded in the void. Yi Mo didn't keep using instant transmission. He saw the huge level 7 void iron-winged bears stopped by 2 immortal kings. Yi Mo breathed easy. 1 immortal king might not be a match for the void iron-winged bear, but 2 were definitely enough to beat it. The 3 clashed in the void, and there were terrifying sounds under the explosions of magic. The level 7 void iron-winged bear was powerful, but it couldn't beat 2 immortal kings combined. In less than 5 minutes, it roared and flapped its huge wings, flying away. The rest of the void iron-winged bears completely disappeared. Yi Mo gave himself a clear water spell and cleaned himself before changing into a new set of clothes. Then he came up to the 2 immortal king and saluted with his fists. "Thank you, 2 Qian Bais, for helping me." One of them was tall, one was short, but they seemed nice. Seeing Yi Mo come over, the 2 quickly returned the gesture. "Immortal friend, you're too polite. Our mistress is waiting on the ship. If you're willing, you can come on and have a seat." "If so, then sorry for the disturbance." Yi Mo agreed. He had no sense of direction. Now that he was invited, of course, he was going to go in. On the deck, the white-robed female immortal studied Yi Mo non-stop in amazement. She didn't expect Yi Mo to really be a great eternity immortal tertiary stage. He wasn't even great eternity immortal peak stage. Yi Mo looked ordinary and seemed very young. Yet such a great eternity immortal had this powerful crowd attack immortal arts. The purple-robed female immortal pulled the white-robed female immortal. She immediately woke up and quickly said politely, once she didn't thank immortal friend for helping us, "May I ask what your name is?" If Yi Mo didn't attract nearly all the attention of the void iron-winged bears and used wave kill to scare them off, it would really be hard for their immortal ship to break free. "Goddess one, you're too polite. I'm Mo Ing. I was hunting some void flying snow and was taken away by void chaos flow. I lost direction, and then I saw your ship. I thought it was the fabled ghost ship, so I left immediately." Yi Mo said, "So that's it. No wonder you turned away immediately after seeing us, Wan Shinin said with a sliver of disappointment. She didn't expect Yi Mo to be lost too. After a while, she thought of something and asked, Brother Mo, have you seen Ghost Ship before? Yi Mo immediately said, I've heard of it. Brother Mo, since you're lost too, why not take out a mortal ship and we can find a way out together? Although Yi Mo was lost too, but after seeing Yi Mo's terrifying crowd attack ability, Wan Shinin wanted Yi Mo to join them. Yi Mo knew what she meant, but he didn't have such plans. His space-time boat was no slower than her ship. There was no point in staying here. One, he couldn't cultivate. Second, he would be watched by two immortal king. But before Yi Mo could reply, the immortal ship rattled heavily. Before Wan Shinin went to check, the purple-robed female immortal said worriedly, Mistress, we've encountered a huge void, chaos flow. We can't come out. Open all the defense restrictions, don't go the opposite direction of the flow. Accelerate towards the flow. Uncle GYI and Uncle Ting help control the ship. We must make the ship pass the void chaos flow. Wan Shinin calmed down quickly and made the decision. Yi Mo approved. Immortal ships would usually avoid large void chaos flow. If one entered the void chaos flow whirlpool, he wouldn't be able to leave forcefully as it might break the immortal ship apart. In this situation, one had a sliver of chance only if they followed the chaos flow. Yi Mo knew now wasn't the time to go. This chaos flow seemed very long. After the immortal ship drifted for 5 days, the ship stopped. Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense out. The two immortal kings and many people on the ship were repairing the restrictions. The ship was heavily damaged, but it didn't disassemble. There's a mark on the location disc. The purple-robed female immortal rejoiced. Yi Mo immediately wanted to say goodbye, but he stopped his words. He didn't know if his ship would be able to detect a location here. If he left the ship and found there was no mark on his boat, then it would be embarrassing to come back. When Yi Mo came to the deck, Wan Shinin was already there. Her face looked tired, but she was full of surprise and joy. Brother Mo, fortune and misfortune indeed come together. Life is unpredictable. Wan Shinin's tone was light. Congratulations, Goddess Wan. Of course, thanks to your ship for finding the way out and bringing me out of the void. Where are we now? How long would it take to get to the nearest heaven domain? Yi Mo smiled. Wan Shinin didn't mind and answered, We're about 3 months away from Yu heaven domain. We're truly lucky. Yi Mo rejoiced. He hadn't been here, but he knew his space-time boat would definitely be able to sense the marks here. Yu heaven was a grand heaven domain. If he used his space-time boat, he might be able to reach Jinshang heaven in less than half a year. Brother Mo, Shinin wants to invite you to Wanzai Immortal Residence. What do you think? Wan Shinin looked hopefully at Yi Mo. Wan Shinin was really observant, and seeing that Yi Mo was about to reject, she smiled sweetly and said, If we're quick, we can make it to the greatest event of the residence. Wan Shinin was really observant, and seeing that Yi Mo was about to reject, she smiled sweetly and said, If we're quick, we can make it to the greatest event of the residence. What is it? Yi Mo subconsciously asked. Brother Mo, have you not heard of Wanzai Immortal Residence? Wan Shinin asked in confusion, seeing that Yi Mo didn't react at all when she mentioned the place a few times. Yi Mo said with slight embarrassment, I've always been in solitary cultivation and rarely go out. I've really never heard of it. No wonder. Wan Shinin explained, we're the #1 immortal residence in Yu heaven. If it wasn't that the leader went out seeking Tao and hasn't returned yet, we would have been an emperor's sect already. Even so, we're still one of the 3 great immortal monarch sects of Yu heaven. Yi Mo guessed this already. Wan Shinin had 2 immortal kings protecting her and had such high-level immortal ship. There was undoubtedly an emperor's sect behind her. Our immortal residence gathers prodigy immortals to hold a flower-viewing night. Of course, in actual fact, it's to select Tao partners for the excellent female immortals of our residence. The 10 female immortal participating are the most prodigious disciples of our immortal residence. Even the number 1 beauty of the immortal residence is participating. Brother M.O., your talent is exceptional. Mistress, you're going to participate too. You're one of the 3 best goddess of the residence. The purple-robed female immortal smiled. Wan Xinin blushed a little but didn't argue. Yi Mo was already losing interest. A flower-viewing night and a Tao partner-seeking activity. He didn't have the mood to participate. He saluted with his fists without hesitation. I'm really sorry. Goddess Wan, I happen to have things to do, so I can't go. If I come past the residence next time, I will definitely come to visit. Brother M.O., are you really going to go? Wan Xinin seemed a little disappointed. She had seen Yi Mo's power with her own eyes. He might be admitted as a Tao partner. Yes, please open the restriction, Goddess Wan. Yi Mo had lost the interest to talk. Wan Xinin could see Yi Mo's adamance, and could only say, then if you have time, remember to come visit the residence. We will always welcome Brother M.O. This is a VIP card of the residence. Wan Xinin opened the restriction and handed Yi Mo a card. Yi Mo thanked and quickly bid farewell. He released his space-time boat and soon left. Mistress, this Mo Ing is indeed very powerful, but he looks a bit ordinary. The purple-robed female immortal commented. Wan Xin shook her head. This person is this terrifying just as a great eternity immortal. His future is boundless. How many great eternity immortals do you see with a low-grade god artifact? Even our immortal ship can't catch up to his boat. It's low-grade god artifact, for certain. His wave god artifact makes me feel he has a high-level heaven flame. If this person wants to stay at the residence, he would be so much better than those sect prodigies. Wan Xinin sighed. Amongst the prodigies I have seen, only Chu Jiyu, who's staying at the residence, can compare with him. But even Chu Jiyu is probably no match for this person. Mistress, will Brother Chu marry into our residence? The purple-robed female immortal asked. Wan Xinin thought for a moment and said, Chu Jiyu is equally very talented. If he wasn't just a solo cultivator, he might be immortal king now. But this person also has great ambitions. He is very prideful. It's not certain if he would marry into our sect. Yi Mo wouldn't know that Chu Jiyu was at the Wanzhe immortal residence. He was on his space-time boat, checking the heaven domain mark. The nearest Hevian domain was indeed Yu heaven, but Yi Mo didn't want to go there. He wanted to go to Jin Shang heaven. He estimated he would need a year or so at max speed. If he went to Yu heaven and took the teleportation formation, he might reach there in less than 3 months, but Yi Mo didn't intend to take the teleportation formation. Yi Mo chose to increase his power immediately. He believed he would reach great eternity immortal peak stage on the way to Jin Shang heaven. Then he would go to the immortal graveyard and have his immortal king divine damnation. Once he was immortal king, he would be able to escape even from immortal monarch. He didn't dare to have the immortal king divine damnation in the void. It's many times stronger than his previous divine damnation. Yi Mo needed to be very careful. If he reached immortal king, he would be a status immortal. Status immortal was the symbol of long life and power. Yan Jiuqian was definitely an immortal king now. If he was still great eternity immortal and encountered Yan Jiuqian, he would be over. Even the Uncle Ji incident made Yi Mo extremely uncomfortable. He could fight on par with Yan Jiuqian, but Yan Jiuqian could run from Uncle Ji while he couldn't. Yan Jiuqian had many means while he was just using a few immortal artifacts he had. There were many immortal kings in the grand heaven domain. He would encounter one anywhere. Yi Mo let Shadowless and Small Ginseng control the ship again, and told them to go Jin Shang heaven before going into the Golden Page world for solitary cultivation. Half a year passed outside the teleportation formation. Yi Mo felt the roaring immortal essence in his body. The pill poison had already been removed. He felt the power within him. Yi Mo almost wanted to punch to test his power. Yi Mo stood up again. He knew he was Great Eternity, Immortal Peak Stage. After his divine damnation, he would become an immortal king. Extreme Great Immortal Range was much better than Top Great Immortal Range. It was easy to digest and still had around 40% left after he reached Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage. Seeing Yi Mo come out of the Golden Page world, Shadowless and Small Ginseng quickly came around them. Yi Mo checked the map and saw there was just 2 months' journey until Jin Shang Heaven. Yi Mo was very happy. Yi Mo didn't take over control. He let Shadowless and Small Ginseng keep controlling the ship while he felt the force of the void before the boat. Calming down and feeling the vastness of the void would be beneficial. Half a month later, Yi Mo felt his power grow more pure. Even his sea of consciousness started expanding. Yi Mo knew that if he cultivating spirit will 9 transformations now, he would be able to break through soon. This day, Yi Mo was trying to use spirit sense to move the asteroids in the void, but felt some waves in his spirit sense domain. Someone was coming over and using spirit sense to watch him. This person's spirit sense wave definitely wasn't Great Immortal. Yi Mo immediately let Shadowless and Small Ginseng go into the Golden Page world. At the same time, he took control of the space-time boat and hung Zissou on his back. In just tens of seconds, a blue dashing light came. An extremely pretty chariot stopped. An eagle-eyed man stood before the chariot. It was an Immortal King tertiary stage. Yi Mo frowned. This was almost on par with Uncle G. The Immortal King clearly came for him, but Yi Mo was worried. This person's flying magic artifact was only extreme grade. Flying immortal artifact. Space-time boat replicate, the Immortal King said with amazement. As his eyes lit up, Yi Mo was going to salute it with his fists, but hearing this greedy tone, Yi Mo gave up on the thought. Chapter 1798. Difference with Immortal King. Chapter 1798. Difference with Immortal King. What was the immortal pet you put away? However, this Immortal King didn't ask about the space-time boat. This person was so rude. Yi Mo was already annoyed. He casually saluted with his fists. It's just an assistant helping me control the flying immortal artifact. Nothing worth mentioning. If you have no business, then I'm going. How dare you? Did I let you go? Why did I detect a strong spirit item here? And when I came over, it was gone. Is it the spirit item you put away? The Immortal King yelled. Yi Mo was more annoyed. Did this guy think he was easy to abuse because he was Great Eternity Immortal? Bastard, but this reminded him that Small Ginseng can't come out casually. What has my immortal pet got to do with you? Yi Mo's tone growing angry. Yi Mo didn't need to suck up to him. Plus, he believed that with his Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage, even if he can't beat this person, he can run away. He didn't get away from Uncle G because he was only a Great Eternity Immortal Primary Stage, while Uncle G was Immortal King Peak Stage. Haha, you have balls. The Immortal King laughed and grabbed at Yi Mo, seeing this guy underestimate him. Yi Mo wasn't going to waste this opportunity. He released Rainbow and Wave Kill immediately. The force of these 2 god arts were unparalleled. Sword Ray covered the heavens and instantly tore apart the domain that this Immortal King didn't intentionally release and sliced across the void. Instantly, the Immortal King realized he underestimated Yi Mo's splurge. The rainbow hacked onto the hand of the Immortal King, and blood flew everywhere. But the rainbow kept hacking down without any impediment. The Immortal King dashed and broke free from Rainbow's space confinement. However, his hand was hacked in half. Just one move, he was an Immortal King tertiary stage and was injured by a Great Eternity Immortal Peak stage. The Immortal King was furious. He ate a pill and ran his immortal essence. His hand healed in the blink of an eye. At the same time, he released a blue spear. Rumble. The long spear attacked later but landed first and smashed Zissou. The rainbow sword ray dispersed, and Zissou fell from the void. The powerful immortal essence backlash came, and Yi Mo spat a mouthful of blood. He quickly took back Zissou. Meanwhile, the immortal king domain formed again. It was completely different from before, and bound Yi Mo. Yi Mo knew that even if he could release four-wave kill, he can't beat this immortal king. The difference was too great. Crack. Yi Mo released the first wave kill, and the domain instantly became weak, but the first wave was used up. When it came before the immortal king, it was worthless. The immortal king tertiary stage was also very shocked. Although he felt he could kill Yi Mo, it was unimaginable that a great eternity immortal was this powerful. Since when was there such terrifying great eternity immortal? If this great eternity immortal reached immortal king, what immortal king could be a match for him? Even as immortal king primary stage, he would dominate all immortal kings. This person must die, otherwise there would be endless repercussions. Thinking about this, the immortal king's spear turned into a blue sun. Rumble. But before this blue sun attacked Yi Mo, Yi Mo's second wave kill came over. This second wave was ferocious heaven flame. The immortal king's eyes narrowed. He saw it clearly. It was heaven flame, one that reached immortal flame. This great eternity immortal not only had low-grade god artifact, but also this terrifying flame. His eyes heated even more. He must capture this person alive. He had too many secrets on him. But he knew he must not let the heaven flame reach him. Even immortal king tertiary stage wouldn't be able to take it. The blue sun spear extended, turning into a huge blue wall blocking the second wave. Rumble. The two clashed, creating terrifying rays of red and blue. In just a moment's time, the second wave was turned into nothing. Meanwhile, this blue wall retracted rapidly. In less than half a second, the wall turned into a 300-meter-long spear and pierced at where Yi Mo was. As this spear went over, the space around Yi Mo rapidly shrunk, as though, when it shrunk to a certain point, Yi Mo would be pierced by that spear. Thud. Void ripples formed. Immortal King couldn't tear open void, but this spear was so powerful that it created ripples. Clearly, this Immortal King only wanted Yi Mo's essence spirit. After the explosion, the Immortal King knew his spear missed. A great eternity immortal actually ran away from him during a fight. How could he bear this? He immediately took his spear and chased over. But even if he made his immortal ship go the fastest, the figure on the location disc kept shrinking until completely disappearing. The Immortal King's face was green, but he didn't give up. He chased over along where Yi Mo fled. He wasn't just going to get revenge. This great eternity immortal had too many secrets. Yi Mo broke a sweat shaking that Immortal King off. Luckily, his experience was ample. After knowing that his wave kill couldn't take an advantage, he didn't release a third wave and used instant transmission to get away instead. It's not that the wave kill can't kill the Immortal King, but his speed of using Immortal Essence was too slow compared to the Immortal King. This Immortal King could annihilate the second wave and kill him before he used the third wave. If his third wave could attack as quickly as the Immortal King, Yi Mo believed he would even have the upper hand. But he knew it was impossible to be faster than this Immortal King under his domain. After this fight, Yi Mo wanted to reach to Immortal King even more desperately. The difference between Immortal King and Great Eternity Immortal was a fundamental difference. He could kill ordinary Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary stage at Great Extreme Immortal Peak stage, but at Great Eternity Immortal Peak stage, he couldn't beat an Immortal King Tertiary stage. This was the difference. Yi Mo flew on the space-time boat at max speed. After half a month, Yi Mo called out Shadowless, and let Shadowless keep controlling the boat to fly to Jinshang heaven. Meanwhile, he went into the Golden Page world for pill concoction. He needed King Pill to reach Immortal King. Extremely rare prodigies didn't need it to reach Immortal King, but Yi Mo knew that person wasn't him. He had a Pengyu immortal fruit tree. What Yi Mo didn't expect was that in less than 10 years, the fruits had a faint purple color. This is due to the chaos chi in here. Small Ginseng explained. Half a month later, Yi Mo concocted 5 cauldrons of King Pill. Other than a cauldron of top grade, the rest were all special grade. Due to Yi Mo's speed, he arrived at Jinshang heaven in less than 2 months. He picked a direction and charged at Immortal Graveyard range immediately. A few days later, Yi Mo appeared in the depth of the range before finally putting away the space-time boat. The bleak chi rushed over, but Yi Mo didn't care. Chapter 1799. Crazy Immortal King Domain. Chapter 1799. Crazy Immortal King Domain. The remaining small half of the extreme Great Immortal Range was pulled out too. Yi Mo started setting up Spirit Gathering Immortal Formation. Half a day later, a level 6 Spirit Gathering Immortal Formation was set up. The Immortal Spirit Chi nearby immediately became dense. Those bleak chi sensed Yi Mo's fire element chi and all retreated. He also set up a level 6 barrier formation, even though he couldn't completely cover his traces, but it was better than nothing. Yi Mo knew this divine damnation wasn't simple. He prepared 100 level 6 immortal artifact and a level 7 shield immortal artifact. It wasn't that Yi Mo couldn't forge level 7 immortal artifact, but that it required too much materials. Yi Mo even prepared octagonal cauldron and how heaven drum. Of course, Yi Mo didn't want to use it if he didn't have to. When he was surrounded by endless void, iron-winged bear, Yi Mo didn't even plan to use how heaven drum, much less now. The King pills made with purple Pengyu immortal fruit emitted a faint purple aura. People would feel rejuvenated just by smelling it. Yi Mo took out a King pill and placed it in the center of his hand and started to use 3 birth chant to charge at that barrier. The immortal essence in his body flowed like a great river, but it was still far from that barrier. It couldn't even touch the barrier, much less tear it open. Yi Mo knew clearly that although he was Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage, his build-up was far from those Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage who had cultivated for countless years. Their immortal essence had built up to a certain degree that if they just had an King pill, they would have much greater chance of breaking through compared to him. But Yi Mo just reached Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage. His immortal essence and spirit sense was far from as condensed as others. If he didn't have bitter bamboo, it was impossible to try break through to Immortal King after just reaching Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage. It was impossible. Bitter bamboo gave him a stable mind state, but it couldn't give him the build-up. Other people could only keep building up, but Yi Mo had his own method. He had extreme Great Immortal Range, and more importantly, the 3 birth chant. At this moment, that small half of extreme Great Immortal Range was like being evaporated and gathered towards Yi Mo quickly. This immortal spirit chi devouring speed was many hundred times faster than when he was in the Golden Page world. If he had such speed in the Golden Page world, Yi Mo would have long been Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage. But if he dared to do this in the Golden Page world, he would have exploded already. He ran his 3 birth chant to the extreme just so he could charge at the Immortal King barrier. If he wasn't doing that, this cultivation speed was suicide. If the immortal spirit chi couldn't turn into immortal essence, it would tear open his meridians. This was why if cultivators failed to break through, then their power would go down. Even if one's immortal essence was ample to the extreme, there needed to be a time for it to settle down. But that wasn't suitable for Yi Mo. He didn't have time. Even with the time formation disk, he didn't have enough time. Plus, he needed more than just time, he needed to pile up cultivation resources. He spent most of his time looking for resources. When the terrifying immortal essence ravaged in his meridians, Yi-Mo felt some danger. He tried to use his immortal essence to touch the immortal king barrier, but he was still far from it. 2 days later, the virulent immortal spirit chi was controlled by the three-birth chant. Yi-Mo felt his immortal essence calm down, and he immediately ate the King pill. With this, Yi-Mo suddenly felt some new enlightenment. Yi-Mo sunk into that enlightenment, forgetting about the charging power that came with the King pill. However, it still gradually let Yi-Mo's power touch the immortal king barrier. When Yi-Mo felt that barrier, he suddenly shook. Ripples formed in his spirit sense, and this indescribable force extended out. This was the primal form of immortal king domain. Yi-Mo immediately realized he hadn't even reached immortal king, and he was at this stage. This was so much more powerful than the domain he learned before. Yi-Mo forgot about trying to break through and just kept trying to extend his domain. 2 days passed again. Yi-Mo found he actually formed a complete domain. The barrier-breaking effect of the King pill had passed. Someone else would be very annoyed, but Yi-Mo ate another pill. He didn't use the second pill for breaking through, but instead kept using it for enlightenment, stretching his domain. 1, 2, 10, 15. Yi-Mo kept eating King pills and expanding his domain. His immortal king domain became more and more stable and controlled while getting larger. When there was only 3 pills left in his second bottle, Yi-Mo just realized that he had gone into solitary cultivation in here for a month, and he was just consolidating his immortal king domain. If someone came here now, he would be asking to die. He didn't have much extreme great immortal range left too. Yi-Mo didn't dare to keep expanding his domain. He ate another King pill and started charging at that barrier. Rumble. Yi-Mo felt his power touch that barrier heavily. Yi-Mo rejoiced, but before he could charge at it again, there were crackles sounding from above him. Yi-Mo knew that what was to come would come. At the same time, darkness spread above him, and then 8 golden lightning bolts shot down, illuminating the immortal graveyard range into a golden color. The bleak chi spread out, but Yi-Mo breathed easy. Luckily, there were just 8 bolts. They were thick, but he should be fine. But soon Yi-Mo sensed danger, and before he could react, the 8 bolts changed directions and attacked Yi-Mo from 8 directions. What shocked him even more was that after that, they suddenly turned into 72 bolts attacking him from every direction. Yi-Mo released 100 level 6 defense immortal artifacts and 1 level 7 defense immortal artifact. At the same time, Yi-Mo released Sisu and World Rock. Yi-Mo's eyes went red. The divine damnation was set on killing him, but with his great eternity, immortal peak stage power, and immortal spirit body middle stage, he didn't believe he couldn't beat this divine damnation. From his perspective, there was no meaning in just staying defensive on this. After releasing all of his defense immortal artifact, Yi-Mo suddenly flew up and raised his fists smashed at the 9 golden bolts above his head. Rumble, rumble, earth flew everywhere. The ground seemed to have been plowed. Before the lightning above him struck, 9 golden bolts rose out from the earth. Yi-Mo instantly realized there were 81 bolts in this wave. The hidden 9 bolts were the lethal ones. Yi-Mo took in a cold breath. If he didn't fly up to fight the divine damnation in the air, he wouldn't even have time to dodge the 9 bolts from below. Such evil divine damnation. Yi-Mo was extremely furious, but he calmed down instead. He released Octagonal Cauldron immediately. This was the first time Yi-Mo released so many defense immortal artifact. His spirit controlled them all, but he didn't use any god arts. Even with his powerful spirit sense, he felt a struggle. Rumble, crack. The divine damnation kept striking Yimo's shield, and the world rocked while hitting Zissou. Meanwhile, Yimo's fist struck the 9 golden bolts, and explosions sounded throughout the immortal graveyard range. Some floating ghosts were instantly annihilated by the spilt lightning bolts. Cracks sounded non-stop, and the defense immortal artifacts were falling down in pieces like a hailstorm. That you're tuning into the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.